Hello and welcome to the FGandRZ podcast. I'm your host RZ or Aaron, and my co-host FG or Luke. Say hello.
Yeah.
And we also have a special guest today, who is Adil. Say hello.
Hello.
Cool. We've got three topics to talk about today. One's Mortal Kombat, the other one's Days Gone, the two games that got released this week, and then the final one is going to be Avengers Endgame. It's going to be our full review. So this is a spoiler podcast, so if you haven't watched it, don't watch this podcast, or maybe just watch it, and then when we talk about Avengers, turn it off.
Yeah, we put like a little notification on as soon as we talk about Avengers, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so we'll jump into Mortal Kombat first. Me and Luke's played Mortal Kombat. Adil hasn't. What do you think of it?
I think it plays really nice. I just don't think it doesn't. You talk about it first. I'll go off of what you say. You talk about it first.
Okay, right. So basically, Mortal Kombat X, I thought was a really good Mortal Kombat, and I thought like it was kind of one of them games where Injustice for me is kind of like a really easy version of Mortal Kombat. It feels like combos are way easier to do. Yeah. Then Mortal Kombat X is a bit harder, and then this at the moment for me just feels outright really hard to try and pull a combo off.
See, I don't even know if it's hard as much as there just isn't many options compared to like the previous Mortal Kombat or Injustices. It feels like if I'm ever playing it and trying to make a combo myself, or if I'm ever even on YouTube, like, combos for this character, there's always just one flat combo, like just always one. There's never really any variations to it, or the most variation would just be how someone finishes it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it feels like a lot of most combo stars as well are from what are they called? Crushing blows.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them seem to be opening from like crushing blows and stuff. And I don't really like the mechanic. Like I think it's cool.
Yeah, so I like the crushing blow idea of like the little RNG behind it, but I'm pretty sure if you hit past something like an 8-hit combo, your next hit's going to be a crushing blow or something, as long as it's a special move or something.
I thought it was just depended on like all crushing blows have their own special like activatables. So like for example, like Sub-Zero Slide, it's a crushing blow if you hit it 3 times.
Oh, okay, so that's interesting.
Yes, it's not like RNG. Like in like Baraka, for example, he's got like a move where if they block late, so if he hits you and that person clicks to block late, it's a crushing blow.
Yeah, because everyone's uppercut is a crushing blow as well, isn't it?
Maybe
I'm pretty sure I've hit an uppercut, crushing blow on everyone. But yeah, I kind of like the crush show. It's kind of like one of them things where it's like when you first play the game, it's a real wow factor, and then after a while, you just like, I'm over it. Just come on, let's get to the combo sort of thing. And
so much damage as well.
It hits like a truck, that does. And like one thing that really bugs me. So you had the X-rays, right? Adil, do you know about the X-rays?
Yeah.
So you get your 3 bars, and then you can perform your X-ray in Mortal Kombat X. And then this one, you've got your final blow. When you're below, I think it's like 30% HP. You can
25%. I thought it was
25%.
Either way, when you're really low, you get it.
Yeah, you get to do it for a potential comeback. But the amount of times where I've been coming in like a shoot off with someone with like, say, I'm versing Aaron Black, right, and I'm Kitana, right? So I'm throwing fans at him. He's shooting me. And then it gets to that, we're both at 25%. He just pulls the crushing blow. I'm now defenseless unless I block that. I've immediately lost.
There's no risk involved, right? Really, like they don't lose meter for it or anything like that.
Yeah, like, literally, it's literally like who presses it first if it's an even matchup, which I really don't like. Which is, I think that's so stupid. Like that, I used to like the X-ray because it was the sheer fact of you getting your ass whooped, you burn 3 meters, and you do like more than half of their health bar. This is just like, oh, you're getting shit on the whole game, you do half their health bar for free.
Yeah, so like also the grabs, can we talk about the grabs and how they're a 50-50? Like if you want to counter grab, the grabs in this game are ridiculous. Like, so if you counter grabs, so if someone throws you forward, it's square or X to counter grab,
yeah.
But if they throw you backwards, it's triangle or circle, but you get no indication of where they're going to throw you. It's a 50-50 whether you counter grab or not. And I don't want to talk about the grabs anymore. Actually, I don't want to talk about the grabs right now.
Yeah, so it for me it's really weird. So at the moment, right, my go-to at first I immediately played Scorpion because he's my favorite character. Then I switched over because I was like, you know what, I don't want to always play Scorpion, because I was speaking to you before, Luke, where I was saying all I do is play Scorpion. That's all I ever want to do. So
and
I was like, you know,
to try some new characters.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it up, right? So at first I started playing, I think it was Noob, and I was just like, whatever.
I didn't like Noob either.
Yeah.
I thought he felt really slow, right? Like,
Yeah.
like he didn't, like his own attack stunned him almost.
Yeah, that's what I got. It was just like his own moves were making him pause, and I was just like, why am I doing this? So, and then I went for Cassie Cage, and I thought she was pretty decent, but I thought she had, I think it was like a weak engage, so she could like barely engage, but she was really good in the corner, so I was like, I don't mind her. And then after that, I went to Kitana, who I thought was interesting. So at the moment, I'm on Kitana at the moment, and I don't know if I'm going to stick with her or play her through. It just feels like I'm trying to learn combos, and I'm watching like combo tutorials and everything, and they're doing it so easy, and like, so it's like the combo goes like, for example, you know, square triangle X, right, and then you knock them into the air or something, and then they're like, immediately after that, throw your fan and then do this. I'm pressing square triangle X, it's knocking them in the air. I'm pressing like down left to throw the fan. She ain't throwing the fan. She's still in her animation where she's finishing that like little move, and it's like, throw the fan. And it feels like I'm doing that like lightning speed. And any other Mortal Kombat or Injustice, if I know 100%, I'm throwing the fan at that point, and she's just coming out of her animation, and it's like, and I'm repeatedly pressing it because I'm like, throw the fan, throw the fan, throw the fan. She ain't doing it. She literally ain't doing it, and I don't know why she ain't doing it. It's really weird.
One more thing about the actual like gameplay before that all I have left to say really about it is, like, so blocking in Mortal Kombat is significantly easier than like in Injustice, right? It's just hold one button.
Yeah.
Significantly easier. I think a lot of moves feel safe, like safe on block. So the amount of people that like you block versus, they'll do a full combo on you, you block versus, and you can't. There's not enough time to hit them back before they can block. Like, it feels so safe on so many moves. So then the moves that don't feel safe feel really shit.
Yeah, like Scorpion. Okay, so Scorpion has a move where it is just, you know, in online play you're never gonna land this move. So it's like it's something like a square triangle forward circle or something like that, right? And he punches twice, and then he does like a Superman punch, but the Superman punch is on fire, and then it knocks them back. But that Superman punch, he does a full-on like little sprint towards them, and then tries to throw it out. In that time, they have all the time in the world to react. The amount of times I've went to do that to a Johnny Cage, and he's backflipped me. Literally, I'm running doing this animation, and he just does a backflip and knocks me into the air. And it's just like, wait, you're in the middle of my combo. You shouldn't be able to just defend yourself from, you shouldn't be able to fight back in that situation, or at least you should just be able to try and block the big punch, not be able to fight back immediately into your own combo. And something like that as well, where Johnny Cage can knock you into the air, starts his combo, which isn't fair. If that's the start of my combo, no, well, that's not really the start. That's just me doing an odd combo, but that's going to trigger into his like 20% combo that he can do to me. I'm never going to use that move, so that move's now just irrelevant. It's really weird.
What about you anyway, though? You said you saw some videos and you haven't really played it that much. But you're like a massive fan of, like, you know, Tekken and stuff. That's where your fighting games are at. What do you think, looking at the gameplay of this new Mortal Kombat so far?
Looking at the combat from like Mortal Kombat, I don't know. I haven't really been a fan of like NetherRealm games and all that kind of stuff. So like from Mortal Kombat X and Injustice and all that, but I've just always thought the animations were really stiff. And some of them look really just forced, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So that's why I've probably always kept with Tekken. Definitely with Tekken 7 anyway. But with the new one, I don't know. Garrus is that's how you pronounce his name. He looks interesting. Just because of all his time control and all this kind of stuff, that looks kind of cool.
So he is so right. Let me just quickly talk about him. He seemed really interesting for me as well. I thought he was like a very like time orientated character, but to me, he's just someone that just pulls you underground and then hits you. for like a lot of damage. Like, he looked so interesting at the start and he just didn't pull it off. Now, to throw it into Tekken, right? Now, I want you to play Mortal Kombat deal just for the sheer fact when I was playing Mortal Kombat with you, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to go back to Tekken, sorry, yeah. I was like, I'm going to go back to Mortal Kombat X for a bit to get ready for 11. I physically couldn't do it. Tekken was way too like flowy and smooth than Mortal Kombat, and I'm not saying Tekken's easy at all, because Tekken's really hard, and to master Tekken,
you just mean it plays better, like it just feels like more responsive.
Literally, right? So if I handed you a control, Luke, and I said, play me at Mortal Kombat these two characters, we've done it before, right? And we literally just spam the same move over and over again at each other because we don't know what else to do. In Tekken, I swear to God, you can just break dance on the control with certain characters, and you'll start just kicking shit out of someone. And that's good for people that are new to the game. And then you've got the characters that you physically cannot do that with. Like, you actually have to sit and master them. And I think Mortal Kombat can't do that, because if there's any character out there people can just spam, you've seen it like you've seen it with Injustice, and yeah, like if there's any character that's just too easy to spam, people just only play that.
Well, like, spam on Injustice is just more like good mix-up attacks, and people will just spam the same good mix-up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like when I was playing Tekken with Adil, he would play either King, who he was really good at, or he would play was the name Katarina or Kitana? No, it wasn't Kitana.
It was the kicking one.
Yeah, right, Katarina.
Yeah,
and he literally just pressed one button all game, and I couldn't find an opening. And it was just like, well, what do I do in this situation? But then it's like, if you look at competitive...
let's say something though real quick. Adil has played a lot of Tekken where you were quite new to it, so let's also say
no, literally, right? But like, he's literally pressing one button and laughing at me, and I'm just like, Adil, where's the opening? And where's the opening? I swear to God, right, it is an embarrassment to watch. He's just literally spam kicking me, right, and I am blocking, so he's doing no damage to me whatsoever, but he knows the second I attempt to jab him, I'm just going to get knocked straight back up, and he's just going to repeat the same move. I think he played Katarina like 10 times, and I think I won one game, and that was because I worked out at the end there was a tiny opening, and I'd land like some dirty little combo in that like part. It was ridiculous. It was actually ridiculous. Right, I'm going to quickly jump onto, before we change topic, to Days Gone, because I'm not going to talk about Days Gone for that much, because I haven't played much.
Wait. Real quick, moving away from the Mortal Kombat gameplay, what do you think of the kind of microtransactions and grinding around the crypt?
It's at the moment it's dog, but I heard they're working on it.
Yeah,
so,
I heard
pretty quickly, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they said that. I think the same day they did, obviously, the day one patch that me and you were talking about for the infinite combo. But then they also put a Twitter post out saying they didn't mean for it to be this grindy, and they're working on it. But one thing that's in the game, right, that I want to like just address real quick that they haven't addressed, at least not to my knowledge. If you go onto Steam right now, Raz, yeah. I want you to go down to the DLC characters for me and tell me how much Frost is.
It's like £4, isn't she?
5. And
£5.
She's free.
Yeah, it's same for PlayStation. So basically, when I opened up the game, it was like buy Frost for £5 or whatever, and I was like, what? They're bringing out a character that you have to purchase already. And I also paid £75 for the game, so I've got the Combat Pass, so which also does state that I get every single DLC character in it. And I was like, why the hell haven't I got Frost? And I was very close to purchasing her, and then at the very bottom, it says something like, you can unlock this character by finishing episode 4. And I was that's dog. I was like, that small print is dog. Yeah.
So shady. It's not even necessary. Like I say, you get it so early through the story.
Yeah, and I was like, that's really dog. That shouldn't be allowed. That's really should not be allowed at all.
It shouldn't even be an out of store purchase. Like you said, it's so tiny to see that. Like most people aren't going to read all of that. They'll be like, oh, Frost, I wanted to buy this character. She looks cool, and they'll just buy it. Like I know, like even for Assassin's Creed Syndicate, before I even played the game, because it was on like sale, I bought all the DLC with it. You know what I mean? Imagine on Mortal Kombat, it's on sale. Someone's like, oh yeah, I can buy, like, I don't know, a couple months down the line, yeah, I can buy Frost. They buy Frost as well. Oh, you get it for free in game though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally. Like I was so close because I was just gonna be like, oh well, what's their purchasing scheme? Because every game's gonna have one now. What's their purchasing scheme? So I clicked over to it and it was like Frost, and I was just like, wait, okay, I'll just buy her then, sort of thing. And then looking at her, I was just like, am I really gonna play? Because I'm someone that, you know, would buy a character and then probably not even touch them. So I was like, do I really want to pay £5 when I've just paid £75 for the game? So then I looked in the little small print at the very bottom, and it was like, oh yeah, you can just unlock her at episode 4, which was just stupid.
It's not necessary for it to even be there. It's just honestly the only thing for that is to just scam money out of people that aren't gonna read it.
Yeah, I thought that was just dog. And honestly, people who have purchased it, I feel sorry for you, and they honestly should get a refund.
They should remove it and get a full refund on it. It's insane.
Yeah, and I honestly wonder what you get if you buy Frost, and then once you do that mission, if you get anything for it.
Probably not.
Because you should get something. You should get like, I don't know, like at least 500,000 coins or credits, or like a credit equivalent of what she's worth, because you've now unlocked her.
Yeah, basically, yeah, I know what you mean.
But
what do you think of the third-person crypt as well, though, real quick?
The third-person crypt I thought was interesting. I haven't actually been in it for long. I ran around in it. It was a bit. I think the controls are a bit clunky, but then it's just like whatever. I thought the RNG-ness of the chests were a bit dog. So I kind of just.
Oh no! Ignoring the actual design of the crypt, just I mean like the actual just the third person over the shoulder, because I heard it was a test for the new game they're working on.
Oh really? That's interesting. Yeah. I thought the movement was quite clunky though. They did do a third person in the previous one, yeah. They done a third person Mortal Kombat before, which I think
the other one.
So I'm pretty sure if they go back to that kind of style, that'll be interesting. But
I heard it was like just a new project in general, like not like an update to the Mortal Kombat design. Which I thought would be interesting to see, like a third-person thing, because since I think every fighting game now, apart from NetherRealm ones, are third-person, right?
Every
like Dead or Alive, Mortal Kombat, Dead or Alive, Tekken, and what's that other one that lets you make your own character?
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur. There you go.
Oh, okay.
You got like what's it called, like the Dragon Ball Z.
And Street Fighter still played?
Yeah, Street Fighter still played, but I don't know. It's still got that kind of like 3D model.
Yeah.
So I think the only big one is going to be Dragon Ball Z. I don't think Capcom versus Marvel is big anymore.
No.
Yeah, no, it's dead. That died so quick. Marvel vs. Capcom, I bought it on the PlayStation the other week, and the story's a few months ago. The story's actually pretty fun, but other than that, it's just a load of dog. Like it's just terrible. You just press one button and like 100-0 someone. Like it's.
Final thoughts on Mortal Kombat then, from your time playing it, Raz. What do you think? Final summary.
Okay. One last thing I want to mention on Mortal Kombat. Have you touched the personalized tower for gear for your character?
No.
Okay, so you buy that for 25,000 points, right?
And
it's so fucking hard. I got to the second or third tower, and I was versing, and it says like medium difficulty, right? So I was like, yeah, this piss, I'll do this easily. I was versing, what's the woman who does blood magic?
No idea, man.
I can't remember her name. The girl that does blood magic, I was versing her, right? So you can take things in with you that assist you in the battle. Now, I'm stingy as hell. I don't take anything in with me, and that's probably my problem, right? But she had like 4 equiptables on it. This is an AI character, by the way, right? So you've got Cyrax that jumps out and stuns me. You've got Aaron Black that then jumps out and does like a 4-hit combo on me. Then you've got her as well on top of that doing her combo to me, and I cannot block it because it's refreshing every like 10 seconds. That is what I'm trying to go through.
As well.
That alone, it's just like, I don't know what to do here. How do I do this alone? And the only way you can do that is if you bring your own attachable things in. But then you're not even playing the game, really. You just throw in these consumables at each
Yeah,
of it. Like,
I
you're
know
not
what you
even,
mean.
I'm not even trying to combo here. I'm just pressing up on my D-pad to make sure my Cyrax shoots her a million times. Like, I generally don't like that. Like,
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
like the idea
mind.
of equipables either.
Like, I
Like
didn't mind it
consumables, you know?
in Mortal Kombat X. I thought it was really funny how you had like the teleporters that randomly appeared and you fell through them. At first it was really funny, after a while it got annoying, but you could turn them off. In this, you have to do them to like get your armor piece or whatever that you want, and it honestly, it just doesn't seem worth it. It just drives me insane. If you could rate the game out of 10, what would you rate it so far?
God, me?
Yeah.
Oh, it plays. I think it plays really nice and it looks really nice on PlayStation at least. And for those, I'd give it high. But personally, I've only played it a limited amount. But it doesn't seem like the combo. There's many string combos or juggling or anything like that in the game. Especially across her characters, it seems like they have 1, 2 maximum.
Mhm.
I don't know. As far as like a compared fighting game, I think Mortal Kombat 10 was way more enjoyable. So I would give this like a 5. Personally, I don't really like it now.
Right, one other thing, right, I'm going to throw this at a deal actually. So in the campaign a deal, right, there's 2 robots that you fight. One's Cyrax and the other is Sector, right? These characters have full move sets, can combo you in everything, but they're not actually in the game as playable characters. What do you think of that? Because that really triggered me.
Was it like an end boss character or something?
Nope, they're like literally they're the same time you unlock Frost, which is the 4th mission, is the same time you fight them.
Yeah, if anything, I probably think that's gonna just be DLC or something, wouldn't it?
If they are
if
not,
it's not DLC, it's just kind of like a missed opportunity.
if they are not DLC characters, if they're not free because they're already in the game with their equipment, that annoys me immediately. Like,
quick question, because obviously I haven't played Mortal Kombat yet. But with this whole final blow mechanic, has it like dumbed down the game like badly? Because you've already got like the final blow mechanic, but then like
You mean the
brutal
crushing
one.
blow? The
Yeah, the
crushing
crushing
blow.
Yeah.
I
Because
think
the final blow is kind of like similar to the rage art in Tekken, but then you've got that whole crushing blow mechanic, which is kind of like, I don't know if it supports spamming a certain move.
Oh no. Well, most moves have specifics, so like it's hard to say that it's dumbed it down. I think like you with me on this one, right? Well, Raz, because they have special. You have to do complete special things to unlock them. Like the Sub-Zero one, like for example, you have to hit the Sub-Zero slide 3 times and empower it each time, which you can be like, yeah, just encourage you spamming it. It's a hard move to land because of how easy blocking is in Mortal Kombat. And like a lot of them, like I say, they have like late variations. So like Baraka would like the like late block. If you late block it, it's a crushing blow. I personally don't think they dumbed it down as much as they gave extra, like they give you something else to think about during a fight, but then it kind of feels like they took away more moves and strings and combos. Like a lot of moves, for example, like that would knock someone up, you don't recover from in time to keep it going.
Yeah.
That's
my point in the last one.
Yeah, but where like that's where it feels like they dumbed it down there. I think the crushing blows would be really smart and really good if it was an added layer on top of like as much as you can do in another fighting game. What about you, Raz?
Yeah, the exact same. I spoke about it like 10 minutes ago, but yeah, you knock someone up and you just can't do your move to carry the combo on, and it just feels like they're not recovering quick enough. I wish they just did, because it'd just be a lot simpler, and I think it would make a lot more fun gameplay. Also, going along the crushing blow, I think it's kind of shaping the meta of the game depending on how their crushing blows work, because I know Katana's works really easily. She has to, I think Katana's is the one where
hard ones.
Yeah, like for example, the Sub-Zero one, he does that slide 3 times and he has to land it. But then you have Kitana, who literally only has to hit like, I'm pretty sure it is just Kitana then, who has to hit like an 8-hit combo, and then she can stab them and it's a crushing blow. And then you've got Aaron Black, who literally just has to do a running kick, which is just forward B or forward circle, and he just runs, kicks them, and then I think if he does that more than twice, it's a crushing blow. So, and he does that to pretty much gain distance. So if he wants to shoot you, if he wants to get you in the wall, he just knocks you with that. Like that's all he's going to spam at you until like you're done. And as well, when he lands that move, if it doesn't work, he just fucking activates his activatable on it, and it shoots him in backwards anyway.
Yeah, so it's a safe move. Yeah, and it's
like it's so
it's
safe because you can't. You can't stop it. Like you can stop it if you punch it as it's coming towards you, but God, you got to be quick on that. And so it'd just be easier to block it. But as you block it, then you got to prep for his down because once he lands, he's going to shoot you in the feet anyway. If he
and
wants
this is
you
what
to
I
get
mean
back.
as well. Like that doesn't take his defensive me. It does it stuff like that. That takes his offensive.
That's his offensive.
And that's what I mean. I don't like the offense and defensive me. I know my brother likes it, but like to me, that's something like you can spend the offensive meter to make a move safe, and it's a defensive bond. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They honestly should replay what's being used and see how it should plan out, because a move like that, in my opinion, should be defensive. Now you can use it in an offensive way, but it does feel like a lot of people are using it in a defensive
like
way.
You just activate. It's like, oh, I block this. I'm going to activate this to make it safe now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to hit you before we change subject. With 3 characters that are that could be possible DLC characters that are rumored. The other 3 I know you don't really care about, so I'm just going to hit you with these 3 characters. One is Spawn, which I know, Luke, you are going to be pretty happy to know about.
Carry on.
The other is the Joker, which whatever, they're just bringing him from Injustice, which is kind of annoying. If he has the exact same playstyle as Injustice, I just think why? Because there is the Joker on Injustice. Why would you bring him over? And if he looks the exact same, I honestly copy and paste. He should be free. That's not fair. Like if he's just so it's good. And then the final one, which is really interesting, is Terminator.
Terminator.
Yeah, Terminator. Now Terminator was in WWE, right, as a DLC character. I don't know how he fared because I never played as him. I thought Terminator. Now they always do bring like classic movie characters in Mortal Kombat, and I think some people really like it, some people hate it. The other movie character is Ash Williams, but I am over that character. He can just go. He's in every single game in the world, so I'm done with him. But Terminator's kind of interesting for me, and I want to know if it's actual Terminator as in Arnold Schwarzenegger, or Terminator as in just a Terminator. What do you think?
I don't know, let's just start with the Spawn one. See, obviously I like Spawn, and I actually think if any fighting game was going to bring Spawn in, Mortal Kombat would be the one to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But Spawn is like the idea of, and we'll talk about this in the EndGame discussion. Spawn is the idea of bringing someone like Hulk into this Marvel Cinematic Universe, where because they're so strong in the comic book side of the deal, you'll know what I mean. You can't ever make them that strong in the on screen without it being a boring story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And Spawn is like that to me. If you bring him into the game, to me, he's too strong. He's too strong. Like he should be too strong for the game. But like I said, like Hellboy, when they brought Hellboy into Injustice, I didn't like Hellboy. I thought Hellboy was really weak. Like at least the way that he fought.
Hellboy was a really weird character. I didn't know where they were going with him.
So while I do think Mortal Kombat would be the game to bring Spawn in if it was going to be a fighting game, I don't look. It's not that I don't look forward to it. I just don't think it would do him justice.
What about Terminator then?
I don't care for Terminator. I've never watched some movies.
You've never watched Terminators?
Nah.
What about you, deal with Terminator?
Yeah, I've watched all the Terminators, but don't know. But he does fit it, in my opinion. Pretty stiff character.
Don't we already have a cyborg?
Cyborg?
Yeah. In Mortal Kombat.
Oh?
I'm pretty sure we do, right?
Oh yeah, we have Ano, I guess, who would be the equivalent of like some cyborg boy, but he's more of a fighter. I'm on about like Terminator. I reckon Terminator. I don't even know what kind of fighting style he's gonna have. Maybe clunky. I don't know. Get another clunky fighting style. Yeah. Did you complete the campaign of Mortal Kombat?
No, I got like halfway through now. Like, I got to where
okay.
Scorpion dies, and I was like, this is ridiculous.
The final boss, Chronica. Fuck me, man. Literally, I played that fight out like 10 times. Like, okay, right, I don't know if they do it on purpose, right? So the first time I beat her, she didn't even land a move on me, right? Second time, because you have to fight her twice, second time she whooped my ass, like literally didn't even, I'm standing there block crouching, she's just hitting me with everything. A fucking T-Rex comes out of nowhere and like fucking munches on me and everything. I ain't even joking. I was just like, where the fuck is this going? It took me like three or four tries to actually beat her, and once I beat her, I was like, I'm done with this game now. Like, literally, she just pissed me off. She wasn't a boss. Like, some bosses you are acceptably hard, but it was like, you don't know what her moves are to block. Yeah, it's just like, she throws an orb above you. It's like, okay, I'm standing there pressing block. Because I'm standing blocking, she shoots my foot. So I duck blocking next time, because I duck blocking, she does an overhead and it hits me with an overhead. Yeah. It's just like, how do I defend myself against this?
That's like most fighting games in general, though, right? In the flip sense as well, where like you go into the story the first time you're playing, it's giving you characters that you've never played before.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really hard to fight with them, because you know like one move for them, so you're just spamming it. Yeah. Anyway, we have spent a lot of time on Mortal Kombat now, Raz.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me finish one last point, and then I'm off it. Right. The battle with Chronica, you also can't grapple her, so you can't try and corner control her, and also half of Liu Kang's moves don't work because they basically stun the opponent, and you can't stun her. So you know when he jumps in the air and like kicks him like 10 times.
Yeah,
that's irrelevant because she can't be stunned. So he hits her once and then he has to jump off her. So half his combos are now fucking irrelevant because you're versing a boss. Yet this is the final boss fight. Dog, right? I'm over it now.
I think the conclusion is that you don't like
right, literally, right? Dog, literally dog.
Quick final thought, Deal. Any gameplay you've seen, bearing in mind, like I said, you haven't played it, you've just seen about it, compared to fighting games you're familiar with, what does it look like to you?
Like I said, stiff and very gimmicky, but looks amazing. I don't know, just something I just can't get behind, but just looks kind of stiff. So,
okay. Right.
Final thoughts on you, Raz? 1 sentence, go.
Right, I'm telling you now, right? I could speak about it for days. I'm giving it, right? I'm just giving it a score. I'm just giving it a score. 7 out of 10 at the moment, man. But it might be better. 7 out of 10.
It's just ignoring the microtransactions. So
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right, 7 out of 10. Right, I'm gonna jump over now to Days Gone. We'll just let this podcast just go for as long as it needs to go, because we're already like 35 minutes in. I'm gonna jump over to Days Gone. It's only gonna be quick, Rob. I'm just gonna tell you straight. A lot of people have been saying this game's really terrible, right? And
really? Wait, really?
A lot of people hate on this game at the moment. Now, personally, for me, it's a dream game because it's just basically a fucking Walking Dead simulator. Now, I agree with people that this game is buggy as hell. Now, Luke, you'll hate the game. I know you'll hate the game, right? There is a lot of repetitive features in it. Some features are kind of cool. There's nothing groundbreaking in it. The only thing I think, a thing that's really fun at the moment, there is a petrol mechanic in it. So it's like you have to constantly stay on top of your petrol, or your bike will just die, and then you kind of just stranded in the middle of nowhere until you find more petrol, which is kind of fun. But right, a lot of people are moaning because they're saying it's really glitchy. I've ran into a fair few glitches in my day at the moment on it, and I've only been playing the game for like a day minimum, right? My first glitch I ran into, I basically grabbed a rock, right? Because you can get the zombies to walk towards a rock if you throw a rock. Yep. I grabbed a rock, I threw it off the zombie's head, the zombie broke. I'm telling you now, the zombie literally, right? You know when their animation just freezes? Right, yeah. I literally knocked this rock straight off this like zombie's head. His animation broke. I could still hear him going fucking mental at me. I walked up to him and he's just frozen. He's just dead on the fucking spot. And I was just like, wait, what the fuck's going on here? Right, I should have took a picture with him, right? But he was just frozen down on the spot. This is my first encounter with a zombie as well, because it was like, throw the pebble, make the zombie go blah blah, right? I was just like, fuck that, I'll just throw the pebble at the zombie. So I threw the pebble at the zombie, he just froze. He was just broken. He didn't know what to do. I stunned him straight away. It was insane. It was the best move ever. And now at the moment, all I ever do to zombies, it doesn't work all the time, but all I ever do, a zombie sprinting at me, I don't need a pistol, I don't need my crossbow, I don't need a shotgun. Throw a pebble off his head, he's broken, he don't know what to do.
Is this the only problem you ran into as well? Or?
No, I got more, right?
Okay.
So
wait, how many?
Well, so far I've ran into about 5 or 6 problems. So, right, but the game's fun, right? Don't get me wrong, the game's fun. It's a Walking Dead simulator, man. It's the best, right? So, you are literally Daryl Dixon on this game, right? So let me give you the gist of the story, right? So the story is pretty much irrelevant if you're a Daryl Dixon fan, but his missus basically got on a plane. He left her on the plane to save his boy. She got off on the plane like crashed or something. I haven't got that far yet. Plane like crashed or something. He thinks she's dead. Now he's found out that she could be still alive. That's the moral of the story. We don't know much yet after that, right? This game is just some biker dude driving around on his bike helping people, aka Daryl Dixon. The first gun you get in the game's a crossbow. Oh, Daryl Dixon. He literally has no emotion towards anyone in the game. Like, literally, people walk up to him and hug him. He's like, please get off me. Daryl Dixon. Literally, he has no, like, whoever played this game is a Walking Dead fan. The main villains in this game are people that literally shave all their hair off, cut themselves, and pretend they're zombies. Whisperers. Oh my god, it's literally a Walking Dead simulator. Right, another glitch I came into. So these zombies are supposed to approach you immediately as soon as they see you, right? And they also hunt in packs, right? Yep. First zombie, well, not even first zombie. This is like probably about an hour into the game. I park up, right, there's a radio station. I'm gonna go in the radio station, see if there's any meds. I run up to a zombie. I'm about to beat the shit out of it with my baseball bat, right? I'm running up like, get here, you little shit, right? The zombie fucking legs it. He literally runs for his fucking life, and I'm chasing him down the fucking road, like, and the zombie legs it, right? He runs, jumps on top of a bin, freezes. Not the game, he does. God. He jumps on top of the bin. He's so scared. He's that in shock. He freezes. I'll walk up. Yeah, literally, I'll walk up to the bin. I smack my baseball bat across his legs. He literally like does a falling back animation, jumps off the bin, and then carries on. But so many zombies in that game break. It's unreal.
Is the AI as good as they say? When it comes to the
wait, what do you mean? He just told you that they just ran through.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get glitches, but I mean, like, I remembered what I've watched. They tried to say a lot, like, the swarms take different paths and all that kind of stuff, or is it just they walk, they run in a straight line?
So I've only encountered like, okay, so I've encountered like 3 swarms where like literally I've sat there and went, there's too many zombies, I'm overloaded, sort of thing. One was recently I went to a tower. So you know how in Assassin's Creed you go to these towers and you know you get to find out how cool the map is and all that sort of stuff. In this one you go to towers and then you get to inject yourself and you get either like a more precision shot, more stamina, or more health. So I was going into one of this tower and there was loads of them sleeping in a train station, and I was literally like to my girlfriend, I was like, watch and learn how fucking sick I am at this game, right? I literally threw a Molotov into the train, right? And then I just heard like a roar and I was like, okay, that's pretty, that sounded interesting, right? With that, I'm telling you now, maybe about 50, 60s of these zombies just come jumping out the train, running from all fucking angles. I'm like, oh my god, I'm overwhelmed. I just start sprinting away. One thing that is good about it, you are right, they don't kind of pack, so you can't just spray through them, you know what I mean, and they all just drop. They kind of come from the left, come from the right, some are coming from the middle, but you can't kind of like, in that kind of game, you want to like shoot obviously the first zombie that's approaching you. It feels like you're shooting the zombies and then some of them at the front your character's just not aiming for. Like, you're aiming for them, the bullets are just going straight through them. And it's like, he needs to die or else they're all just going to overload me. And it's just like, nah, the bullets are going through them. You're shooting the ones behind them. That's kind of annoying. Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird at the moment. I'll probably enjoy it a lot more. Like, it is really fun. And some things you do on it are pretty damn fun. You can only fast travel as well if you've killed all the swarm that's on, like, the road. And they don't tell you where the swarm hideouts are, so you have to like throw a Molotov in them, but you're looking around for like half an hour just to try and like clear the road. You could have just drove straight past it.
A good or bad feature.
If you don't mind walking around for half an hour, then great feature. But in all honesty, now I just completely ignore these hives that are like built in houses and stuff. I just drive through them. I can't be honest. I understand like fast traveling would make it so much simpler for me, but it's like I've got to walk around like this city for like 20 minutes to kill like 2 hives, when if it just told me where it is, I could just molly them and then just carry on with my day.
Nah, go ahead and ask you a question, Adil.
So, by the sounds of it, you wouldn't say buy it at full price, buy it like a sale or something.
You probably have to like. I'm a Walking Dead fan, so I like for me it's kind of like the sneaking around crossbowing and shit is just so fucking fun, right? But at the same time, yeah, if you're not into that, it's kind of just dog. But like, it is
So you'd,
really
like, not buy it at all. Like, so that's what I mean. Would you tell people to get it in a sale or?
So if you was to be like, I want a fucking zombie game, I'd be like, you know what, you should try this out. It's pretty decent, right? But if you was like, is it good? Should I buy it? I'll be like, do you like them style games? If not, probably not. Like, but it is pretty interesting, and I think like if they just got more time on it, it could have been like a really fun game. But like the movement, it got delayed like 10 times. It got delayed like 10 times. Also, loading screens are ridiculously long. Like,
that's the PlayStation 4. That's coming to its the final ends of its lifespan. You know what I mean? Like as soon as we get like the PS5, I think it'll be addressed more.
Yeah, right. So you know there's a problem when you're lying in bed with your girlfriend playing this game, and she goes, "Has it crashed?" And you go, "No."
Oh
and she's like, "Why is it taking so long to load?" And I was like,
the average time, not even halfway.
She was like, "Why is it taking so long to load?" And I was like, no, it will load any second now, right? And then even the game was like, you know what, they probably think we've crashed because it came up with a loading bar at the bottom to show that it's still loading. And this was just to load. Yeah, this was just to load like a video. Like, not even game, it was just a video, and then you got another loading screen.
The reason that's heartbreaking to me is I remember when Dead by Daylight had a night, you know what I mean?
The loading screens on that.
Well, it had a 99% loading screen, where once you got 99%, you were done, and there was no loading screen bar, so you couldn't tell. So the loading screens took a long time anyway, but you had no idea if it was infinite or not, so they had to add that little loading screen bar at the bottom to help tell for players to help know if they had the 99% loading screen or not.
Yeah, literally. And like I think it's interesting. You also like you go through certain areas like towns and stuff, the lag spike you get is just unbearable. Like it's not like a lag spike as in like, oh, we're in a new area sort of thing. It's a lag spike as in like, I'm gonna fucking crash my bike now, thanks game. Like literally you're driving through it like 60 miles an hour, your game pauses, then it starts, then it pauses, then it starts, then you've hit a lorry and now you're dead. And it's like, that shouldn't happen, not at this moment. Like if you're gonna hit me with a loading screen, hit me on like just sheer road, don't hit me as I go into a town. And I'm just
gonna Spider-Man doesn't freeze the entire game and then only load it when it's actually fully ready, not like the stutter like what you was talking about.
Yeah, like literally let the game go when it's ready. Like but so far I am impressed with how many mobs are actually on the screen at all time, and I haven't even got that far into it, so I haven't hit where like mobs are kind of just overwhelming you. But like I've encountered it like 3 times, but it's pretty cool. Also the ammo's really scarce, which I don't mind. To be fair though, there is like a middle ground between like, so if you watch The Walking Dead, it's very walkers everywhere, and then people are kind of like somewhere in there. In this, it's kind of a real mixture between zombies and people. Like you could just be roaming the street, people could be just go around the corner, horde of zombies, go around that corner, people again. And it's like, it's kind of like Sea of Thieves style. You know how you're just trying to get from A to B, and they've got to hit you with 15 things before you get there. And it's like, this is gonna get. At the moment, I'm enjoying it because I'm like, it's brand new. Yeah, but like later on, like probably when I'm like 6 hours in, I'm like, can you all just leave me alone? Like I've been sniped off my bike like 4 times already. Like, and it's you can't even do anything on your bike because you can't shoot them as you're riding your bike. So you literally have to stop, get off your bike, hide behind a tree quickly, find out where this little sniper boy is just to shoot him. I'd rather him just take my chances. If he misses the shot, he misses. If he hits me off it, I just run, pick up my bike, drive away quickly.
I gotta admit, man, you sound pretty damn excited for this game
Like,
so far.
It's kind of like if this wasn't like a literal Walking Dead simulator, I'd fucking hate it. But because it is, I think it's so funny. Like the little crossbow moments I get are so fun. Like I'm literally just running around, like sneaking around, thinking I'm like Daryl, like weaving through houses, crossbowing in the head, going picking up my crossbow. I feel like a badass right now. I love it, but probably in like 4 hours time I'm gonna be like, this is the boringest game I've ever played.
All right, final thoughts on the game then, right?
Final thoughts on the game without loading screens, man. It's like it's probably, I'm going for a 7 again, man. Probably like a 7.2. If they removed the loading screens, it'd be like an 8 for me. But I'm only like 3 hours in, right? So I'm at the excited moment. You know what I mean? Like next week, if you tell me, I might be like, it's a fucking 2, man. Everyone was right. It's the shittest game I've ever played.
All right, let's move on to the best topic of probably the entire 2019.
Mate, probably the entire of the universe, like literally our whole
Wow.
lifespan is just this day.
Okay, so we got, well, the interesting part is because you two watched it yesterday, it's still really fresh in your mind. You're still super excited to talk about it. You two haven't like talked about it with anyone really yet, besides like the people that you like, your girlfriends, right?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Okay, this will be good then. So, yeah, okay. Well, all right. I'll ask you guys some questions about the film. Which parts you enjoyed the most? This is the spoiler section now, though. So, if you haven't seen EndGame yet, I would definitely turn the video off now if you don't want to find out about it. But let's talk about EndGame then. Okay.
Right.
First 20 minutes of the movie.
Right. So my mind was like a bit boggled because I was just in awe. Like as soon as the movie started, I was just like, oh my god! Like literally. So before the film started, we had a trailer for Godzilla, right? And Godzilla was a really cool trailer. It was like 5 minutes long, right? And then it just bounced into the film. Like it literally just jumped straight into it. Like I expected more trailers. It jumped straight into the film. First 20 minutes.
Waiting for a long time. We were.
Really?
Yeah, but we got there early.
So the very start started with like Hawkeye, didn't it?
Yeah, I went it down. I wrote it down. Okay. Yeah, so we had the Hawkeye scene. What did you two think of that? We'll start with Raz. Wait, hold the excitement. Raz, I think we gotta mention Raz's excitement first.
Literally right. No, literally right. So I was watching it right, and like he was all happy with his daughter, right? And I was like, oh man, this is really cute. And then I was like, something's gonna go wrong here, right? This is gonna be like how Hawkeye like starts, sort of thing. And then like as soon as he looked back and you just seen that dust, I was like, oh, no.
Alright, a deal. Hawkeye scene. Go, my boy.
Well, I had to stop Chloe from crying.
Already?
Already. Because she literally was like, oh, that's such a cute family out on a picnic. And then, like, not even 5 minutes later, they're gone. And it's just like...
But we all know, as soon as we saw Hawkeye training with his family, we all knew what was coming there. Then we knew that was
game,
the dad on Snap.
You knew it was game, yeah.
Oh, man, that moment was amazing. I loved it. Moving on from the Hawkeye scene, the Tony and Nebula, we won't spend too much on this, with just the entire first 20 minutes. What did you guys think of the Tony and Nebula scene when they were trapped in space?
I thought it was kind of interesting because like Nebula's she has like no emotion and she's not even that comedy orientated, is she? So it's very hard to like play a character that's not funny, also has no emotion. So it kind of pulled out like Tony's like more interest inside of like him being like, you know, let's try and like at least try and cause fun, and he's literally trying to teach you how to use fun. I really want to play that game though. I've never played that game they were playing. The game looked fun as fuck. Like it looks so fun.
Oh, I thought it was really good. Just the right amount of time as well. Yeah. Not too long and not too short.
But they
it kind of showed
instantly,
off that they wasn't comfortable with each other, but they kind of got with what they had to get with.
Another cool scene about that was one thing that I really liked was how they played on the idea that Nebula has never won anything in her entire life. So when she wins that, she enjoys that game. You know what I mean? Because she's always used to coming second to Gamora, and I thought that scene was so good. Everything about Tony and Nebula in space was, I thought they were gonna drag Tony out in space, and they just brought him down immediately.
Yeah, like I thought they was gonna drag him out for like half the film, and they just. But then again, loads of things that I thought that was gonna happen, they just move so quick. Like it just moves so quick.
Basically, everything that I thought was gonna be in the film happened in the first 20 minutes of the film, and then everything else was a surprise.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. Go on, carry on. Sorry.
Then we had our reunited with Cap scene.
Wait. Before you do that, right? You know what's it called? So you know when Captain Marvel showing up, right? They didn't do any scene with her, like with Tony, her meeting Tony or anything. She literally just brings him straight back. How did she know he was in from Earth? How did she know anything?
No. There's a post-credit scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Captain Marvel post-credit scene when she says, "Where's Fury?" So you just have to assume that they fucking told her to go out and look for Tony.
Oh yeah, I guess okay, yeah, I get you that. Right, yeah, go on, sorry, go.
Okay, Tony. First of all, Tony, when he comes back down to Earth and he's talking about Cap, how emotional and good was that scene?
Mate, he laid down the fucking law on Cap.
Man.
Holy shit, I got goosebumps at fucking. Yeah. I was like, mate, that was fucking cruel.
You're a Captain America fan as well, right?
Yeah, literally, and literally, and it stunned me. I was like, "Fuck me!" Like he literally fucking ripped his heart out and gave it Captain America. I was like, "Oh my god!" And even Cap, like Cap at that moment was he felt like shit, and he already blames himself. You know what I mean? But Cap's someone that always tries to think on the bright side, and he literally got in a way he got told, "This is your fucking fault because you didn't have my back," and he was like, "This isn't all my fault," and he was like, "No, it is fucking your fault," and it was like, oh shit, like even you could tell Cap was fucking upset, man. Like you could tell, and he didn't want to put it across, but you could tell Cap was just like, shit, like it was brutal.
What about you, Adil?
No, Raz explained it perfectly. It was just brutal and just Captain couldn't really say much, could it? Just had to take it.
Man, it was such a good scene. Obviously, we had the Joker rocket as well. And it was like literally up until this exact second, I thought you were a Build-A-Bear to Rocket. That scene was great. Yeah. But that was really the only dialogue we saw between Tony and Rocket, which was a bit sad.
That was that did suck a bit. Like
that was a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, like one thing that I really do like that they do in that they have done in like all the like Avengers, they hit you with a joke and then they hit you with something really dramatic, and it really changes the atmosphere in the cinema when you're watching it. Like that scene, then it was like with the whole Build-A-Bear, and then he just fucking laid down the law on Cap, and it was just like shit.
And I think. That's what I mean, and I think Marvel have really fucking done a good job where like people can just be laughing 1 minute and then it has your attention again the very next.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They do shit on that. They really do something. And one thing that that I really love about like the whole Infinity War and Endgame thing, they did not mess about with the time that they were given. They get like literally. So we'll jump on to the next part, which is the Thanos moment, right? It was like, where's Thanos? Okay. Next thing you know, you see Thanos, bang, fucking Captain Marvel's in the room. She's fucking beating shit out of him. And it was just like, what? Like, has this really happened?
That entire scene was so badass as well. It's literally it's a full raid. They go in there, they take his arm off in a second, and then you have Cap walking. The scene set, everything about it. First 20 minutes, they tie up everything they need to tie up. You know what I mean? And you just left stunned. So what we'll do is anyway as well. Raj, you're a massive Captain America fan. Adira, you're a massive Hulk fan. More so the comics and the movies.
Because the movies have always been shit to him.
They have. And obviously, I'm a massive Iron Man fan. So what we'll try and do is when it comes to the parts with these characters, we'll try and talk about what they meant to that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously we have Thanos killed, and then Ant-Man comes back. Nothing too great well, I mean, that's the first 20 minutes wrapped up. Now then, the first 20 minutes is just wrapping up the movie and a little bit of comedy. But then the first hour is mostly dealing with the time travel. What did you guys think about the time travel? And I'm gonna start with a deal, and we're gonna start with the minute we see Professor Hulk for the first time. Deal go.
So okay, what do you mean by like the time travel and like
So they
you
basically
talk about
ask
when you meet the Hulk?
The very
Yeah.
first time when they meet
in
him,
the
Adil.
calf.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It was kind of like a shock to me.
Yeah.
Just seeing him. Obviously, he's just like, yeah, I kind of control the Hulk. I've kind of just done this and this now. I can just do what I want with the Hulk now. And I'm just like, oh man, I would have loved to see that, like that whole arc.
Yeah.
But apparently you're internet famous and have all these slogans, so good for you. So I was there like, but it's one of them, like, I can't really imagine what else they can really do with the Hulk, because they kind of showed off, I know this is later in the film, but when the old Hulk from, I think, the first Avengers film, how brutal he was, it's kind of like, well, it's either do that or give him an actual character. So he can be more in the film. So it was good. Just I wish I could have saw like that, like a little bit of
the transformation that went to
And I agree. The time travel just blew my mind. I was just there like, okay, but I was on board, if you know what I mean. I was definitely on board, but it was a shocker.
Yeah,
definitely a massive shocker.
Right, Raz, what did you think of Professor Hulk?
Okay, right. So you when he jumps over to him, like in the what's it called? Like you see his face at first. He looked kind of old, so I was just like, oh, whatever. It kind of made me laugh a bit, and he was just like how like him and he was like, my brains and the Hulk, we combined them together, and then poof, here I am, sort of thing. And it was just like, it's just like as if like, and it just works, sort of thing. And you've got Ant-Man just chilling in the corner, just like as if this is actually happening. The funniest part that I loved, like you have these 3 kids or 4 kids that run up to Hulk and they're just like, can we take a picture? This guy was like the most feared fucking guy for so long, and he's just like
even in Age of Ultron, people are running from him.
Literally, right? And these kids are like, oh, can we take a picture? He's like, oh yeah, and then he gives it to Ant-Man. Ant-Man's just like, what the fuck am I doing?
You guys want a picture with me? And then they have that whole awkward scene play out where it's like, oh, we don't know who he is.
And he's like, no, they want to take a picture with you. And he's like, no, I don't even want to take a picture with them anymore. And he's like, no, to go and take a picture. It's absolutely brilliant. I loved every second of it. It was so good. And then at the very end, it was so cringy. But the little dab that he did, it didn't even look like a dab. It didn't even look like a dab. Like literally, it was genius. I love how like you have like Cap, like he's all business, you know what I mean? Like if I was there, I'd have been wanting a picture. He's Captain America, literally sitting there. Like, how does no one see this? Like it's just like, oh, Hulk's just the overall like most famous guy. Oh, it was absolutely brilliant. Loved it.
So I gotta admit, my first impressions of Professor Hulk were really strong in favor of how good it was. But later on in the movie, it just dwindled a little for me. And, so we're all you on board with that deal? It dwindles. Hulk, the longer the movie goes on, the more you think that it's more Banner and less Hulk.
Yeah, and I think it is really upsetting. Hulk didn't even get a scene of fighting.
Oh man, we'll talk about that. I'm gonna give Adil the reins on that one. That one is when I was telling Adil, I was like, honestly, you'll love the movie, but there will be stuff that happens that you will hate. They don't give Hulk what he needs, but we'll pass the reins on Adil when we get there. Tony's house. Oh my god. Oh
mate, if that
I wanted Tony to die in this movie. I wanted Tony to die in this movie, but when I saw he had a daughter, mamma mia! Oh no!
They literally done that. His daughter was awesome. To be fair, like the thing is, right? So his house was goddamn gorgeous as well.
It was so nice.
Yeah, and like You knew something sad was going to happen. Honestly, I didn't think Tony was going to die. I honestly thought that he was probably going to lose his daughter, and that was going to be the heartbreak at the end. And I was like, damn. But I thought his daughter was cute, and I think they've shown enough time between them to show that, like, he is, like, really connected. Like, he is connected to that family, but at the same time, he is Iron Man, and that that is the thing they always show about him. Tony Stark is Iron Man, and he can never not be Iron Man, no matter how much he is. Like, he said, like, he could lock this information, throw it in the bottom of the lake, right? But you know that he won't sleep, because he will just go back down and get it, because he knows he's worked it out. Like, he has to be Iron Man. That's the problem that he's always going to have.
That scene and Pepper and Tony talking, like, she knows who he is, you know what I mean? She's never not believed it for a second. Obviously, we had some really cute scenes with his daughter about how she loves him 3,000 and stuff. Yeah. And then obviously we have some funny scenes after about how, like, Pepper was in the low 600 to 900s. That was
perfect.
Like I say, the entire scene. First of all, I just want to point out that Tony Stark tries to figure out time travel, and figures it out in a day of him trying to figure that out. Let's listen.
Wait,
he did unrealistic.
No, he did state he tried to work it out before when Cap came. He was like, "Do you think I've not tried to work this out?" But I don't know how he worked it out that quick, because he did state to them all that he has tried to work it out before, and he said it doesn't work. But yeah, and then he just works it out.
Information that Ant-Man
probably.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But like, yeah, he was liking it. Oh, do you think I haven't tried to work that out? And then he just works it out like that. Poof. It's a bit weird, but I guess if they sat there for 40 minutes while he's trying to work it out, then it drags it out a bit longer.
Not weird. That was a big dick moment. I loved that moment, mate. I like I said, you know, Tony Stark all the way, 100%. The boy's a genius. He works out time travel in a day. They put his mind to it. That's a props from me.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, final scene on Tony's house. Then, one thing I really loved about the whole scene was, how like he was like, you know, listen, boys, I got lucky. You guys, I'm sorry you didn't. I don't need to fight anymore. I got what I wanted. And then he's reminded of what he lost with Peter, with the image. He has an image of him and Peter up, and it reminds him of why he loses, which motivates him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I loved every part about that scene. I will say Iron Man didn't get amazing action scenes, but I don't care. He had his moments in Infinity War. I loved the Tony we got in EndGame because of it. And then we have pretty much now. Let's move on from the Tony, the stuff like that. What about when Ant-Man wakes up or comes back from the quantum realm and is looking around? What do you two make of that scene?
I didn't really mind it myself.
I thought it was a bit weird how a fucking mouse brought him back. You could have thought of any idea to bring him back, and it was just a mouse in his car. How did the mouse get in his car? But a mouse just gets in it and steps on a button, and then poof, he's back. You're telling me that someone didn't like fuck around with that car? They just towed the car into.
Let's call it destiny.
Let's call it Destiny. Okay, yeah, right. It just seemed a bit weird. It was just like, they just towed him out. They just tow a car, mouse jumps in the car. Oh, poof, he's back. It's okay, whatever. It's like, oh no, they were literally this woman was supposed to get him out. This really wasp. She was supposed to get him out. She's quite brainy. I honestly don't think it was just a tap of a button to pull him out. Is that simple?
Well, I mean, they're working. You know, the Ant-Man in this, like, come on, they make him a bit of an idiot. So maybe they made it idiot-proof. You just press the button and boom, it works.
Possibly.
But I was more referring to like the actual scene of him seeing what the world has become, and you as a viewer seeing what the world becomes from someone's perspective who knows nothing about what's happened.
Oh yeah, that was quite cool. That was very like apocalyptic kind of feel.
Yeah, very powerful.
Yeah, because he was like strolling down the road. Kind of weird that he was like to that kid. He was like, "What's happened around here?" The kid just nosses off.
No, he starts to cry and he leaves because he doesn't want to talk about it.
Oh, does he cry?
Yeah, he has a tear roll down his eye and he leaves.
Oh, I see. I didn't even see that. I just seen him bolt off, and I was just like, okay, I kind of get that a bit more now.
I think the biggest thing that like hit me with the whole Ant-Man thing was when you see the memorial of like the banner.
Yeah.
That like a whole
And when
you see all the names and it's like two-sided, it's like shit, and then he finds his own name, it's like shit.
Yeah. Oh, that scene. Yeah, it was so many people. I really liked how he was like frantically looking for his daughter's name on there and stuff as well. The missing posters as he's going down the street.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot to take in for him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Imagine it would be like literally going into it'd be like waking up in an apocalypse, wouldn't it? Like half the world's just gone. You don't even know how. Loads of cars are like smashed up in panic and everything. It's just like, what is going on?
Really good. Alright, we'll move on to Fat Thor now, and the whole comedy round. I'm gonna start with a deal on this one. Fat Thor, go.
I did not mind it at all.
Okay.
At all.
Give the thoughts.
Because I think it did suit Thor, because it isn't just like he's lost. He fucked up not going for Thanos' head.
Mm-hmm.
He's also lost his brother. He's lost he had a love-hate relationship with Loki, obviously, but we always still loved him. Lost his dad. Lost Asgard. He's lost everything, and he's still just fucked up at the very end.
Yep.
So I could understand him going down a depressed route. Thought it was funny. But it did towards the end. I wanted to see not exactly a Finn Thor, but a more serious Thor.
100%.
Like 100%. we got it somewhat, but come on, I wanted like a little Rocky moment.
No,
you know
100%. I have some more thoughts about how they could have done it when we move on.
Yeah.
But
I do really want to talk about the whole implications of the time traveling they've done towards the end of this as well.
At the very end, we'll talk about the time travel and what makes sense, what didn't make sense to people, stuff like that. But yeah, so carry on with your Thor scene anyway, deal.
Wait, which one of them?
The full Thor scene. So we've got Fat Thor, but the actual full scene that takes place in the house.
I like the nod with the whole rock guy and the bug. Thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it was. If there was a scene that was a little bit too long, it was probably that.
You thought that was too long? Okay.
I thought it was just a little bit too long on trying to just convince him. I felt like it would have been a lot better if they kind of walked in there, and then as soon as they said Thanos, it wasn't more like a safe place, like you can't say that word. It was more like he puts his arm out and he's like, finally, we've got an idea. You know what I mean? Instead of like the whole being pushed because what beer you've got in the spaceship is like.
Yeah, the beer in the spaceship, I didn't like that part.
Yeah, I didn't like
that's what I mean. Like they proper put him down, and I didn't mind it, but he should have been like, because he was only down because there was no other options. Now he's got an option to redeem himself. Thor's always on it for that, no matter what. So,
Yeah, like
Grass, take the reins. What do you think of that scene?
Yeah, so like when the scene comes in, I thought it was pretty interesting.
Excited for this.
Yeah, so like when the scene started, right, you got like Hulk in the back of the van just like chilling in, and then Rocket jumps out. They go into the room, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious because he's just fully wasted himself. Like
a fat thought. Hilarious.
He doesn't even consider himself a god at this point. Like he's a god in his mind, but he's not a god physically. And I think it's so funny because he's just like how every guy would be like when they've just let themselves go. He's got his boys around him. They're shit talking on games. You know what I mean? He's trying to like put himself in good vibes at the same time. By just looking at him, you can tell he's a bit of a mess. And I thought it was pretty damn hilarious. I thought the funniest part was when I can't remember the rock dude's name when he was like
dude play a 69 shit talking.
He literally got, pass me the headset, and he literally just roasts him.
And he's like thanks, Thor.
Yeah, he's like, I am the god of thunder. I will come down to your house.
Your basement. Yeah, he's like, I'll come down to your basement. I'll go cry up to your mom. And it's like, if he gives you any trouble again, you let me know. He's like, okay, we'll do this. It's so good.
It was absolutely perfect. That scene alone, I loved, and
Yep.
I didn't mind the scene when there was like when he was like, "There's a chance, you know, we take on Thanos again," and he was like, "Oh, we don't say that name around here." I didn't mind that part because obviously Thanos has ruined Thor as a person. Like he physically, just looking at himself, he probably thinks of Thanos. So I can understand why Thor, you know, you just don't mention it around that area, but I would have preferred, you know, kind of the idea of him just being like, well, what's going to happen, and then they explain what might happen, and then Thor's just like, you know what, let's fucking do it then, instead of just being like, well, we got beer, and it's just like, okay, I'll tag along then. It's just like Thor should have just been motivated as soon as like the Thanos thing should have just pissed him off, but then after that he should have been motivated because he was like, I can redo this and I can kill him this time.
Yeah, like I say, I thought the entire scene was funny anyway. And I'm like, you don't need to have that beer joke there because the rest of the scene was funny, and that beer joke doesn't look even remotely like good motivation to get him back. It's like, oh, there's beer in the spaceship, yeah, but there's beer here as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
literally, it was just,
I'm fully on board. Like, I'm leaning more towards a deal. So the whole safe space thing made me laugh. But the scene entire was so funny anyway that if they took that moment to be serious and convince him, then it wouldn't have taken any. It would have probably just added because it would have removed that like, oh, we got beer on the ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My thoughts on Fat Thor were pretty much same. I thought this scene was funny, and I'm gonna say how they could have fixed Thor in a sec. Now, I thought this scene was funny, and if they did it the way that I was hoping they would do it, it wouldn't have cost them anything. You literally see them transform Ant-Man's body in time because they don't know what they're doing. So instead of traveling Ant-Man through time, they travel time through Ant-Man. They could have literally used the cheapest way to get Thor back to his god bod while keeping that joke. They could have just ran time through Thor.
Yes, that would have been perfect.
Here's the thing as well.
Yeah, and then they could have even made the little joke that he's not fat anymore, and then being like, no, send him back, and then him being like, no, don't send me back, sort of thing, like I'm skinny again. Yeah, I thought that'd have been cool.
So here's the thing as well, which is a throwback, right, to a comic book fight with Thanos that Thor has, is Thanos uses the Time Stone on Thor and ages him, but because he's Asgardian, he gets stronger with age. Do you know what I mean? So traveling time through Thor's body would have been a nice throwback to something like that, as well as getting him into the state that I want to see Thor in. Again, the Fat Thor, hilarious. For the entire movie, no. It made me, like, everything he did, I couldn't take serious. And, like, I don't get me wrong, Thor's funny. Like, I actually think Chris Hemsworth is so funny. It's unreal how funny I actually think he is. But Ragnarok showed that we can have a funny Thor. But look at the moment where he had a powerful scene in it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he had jokes, and then he became a god. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the fun part of Thor Ragnarok is the fact that it's hilarious, and then when he like fully knuckles down, it's like, shit, you don't fuck with this guy, sort of thing. Like, and they always put that across. Now they kind of did in the end of this one, which we'll talk about more later, but then still. They put down the fact that he was ready to kick off big fucking styly when the whole weather changed. He just pulsed out. It was like, okay, he's gonna fucking go to town now. They'd done that. He was still fat Thor though.
Exactly. So I couldn't take him serious.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll move away from Fat Thor for now. We'll pick it up in a bit. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna just skip past the Hawkeye running. There was not a lot to talk about. We've all seen him in the trailers. The stuff you've seen in the trailer is pretty much what you've seen in the scene.
Why didn't he do right? So they do a decapitation of Thanos, right? Why didn't they do a decapitation of the person Hawkeye was fighting? Hawkeye's supposed to be like the Ronin. He's supposed to be like a proper cold-blooded killer, isn't it?
I don't know. It still looked pretty cold-blooded without the decapitation.
I'd have thought a decapitation would have looked a bit better.
Nah, like I say, I don't really mind too much. He still looked brutal. Either way, Hawkeye wasn't that big in the movie anyway, so I didn't really care. We're gonna go on to a little part, the last part of the first hour, and that is the way the time travel is explained, which we'll talk about now, and the jokes. Right, we'll start with the jokes first of all. What did you two think of the time travel jokes that they were making? I thought I thought that part was fucking hilarious.
Right, so yeah, I thought all the jokes with like the films and stuff, especially fucking Hot Tub Time Machine, I thought was absolutely hilarious.
He's like, Banner's literally there, like, yeah, he's like, time travel doesn't work. Like, name one instance where it works like that, and they list every single film they could think of, and then War Machine's like, literally every film that deals with time travel.
Yeah, and
hilarious.
Then. Yeah, I was about to say, and then they explained time travel, and in all honesty, maybe it just didn't go in. I was just like, what? Like,
I prefer their time travel personally, but you can explain your point.
Honestly, I didn't understand it that well. I was just like, oh well, the film's just gonna guide me through it anyway. But when they explained it, I was just like, I'm fucking lost here. They
explain it in a way that doesn't make it clear, that makes it funny, but I caught on the gist of it. What about you, Adil? You get you get how the time travel works?
I think I got the gist of it. So
okay,
but like you said, I don't think they was trying to take it too serious anyway. They was just doing their own spin on it. So we worked with
with the movie and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we'll just run over what the time travel is like. 2 minutes. Just so that way any future references will make sense. Basically, the way they say time travel works is you can't go back to the past and change the past, because that just makes a different timeline that you still won't be on. So, for example, if they go back in time and kill baby Thanos, there'll be a timeline where Thanos doesn't do that to them, but they won't be on that timeline. They'll still be on this timeline. Which is why they have to go back in time to get the stones, because the stones still exist outside of their timeline. They can go and grab them and bring them back with them, but then they have to take the stones back, because then the other timeline will still need them. So you get the timeline now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we're all 100% clear, what did you think of it? I personally like it. I think it makes, the time travel can be cheap, right? Where it's like, well, why didn't you just go back and kill baby Thanos and stuff like that? This one makes the movie not make sense, but it makes less plot holes. And why didn't you just do that then?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. I was just about to say that they kind of put across, well, this is why we're not doing this. Right? Before you all ask, this is why we're not going to just go and kill baby Thanos. Because that was going to be the first thing that was said after the film. If they didn't explain that, the first thing that was coming out was, well, instead of just that massive scene, why didn't they just kill baby Thanos? And it was just like, okay. Yeah, so I can understand that, and I did like that. I kind of did appreciate it. I thought it was kind of funny, the other little film jokes that they made. It was pretty good.
Yeah, the time travel jokes, everything was hilarious there. So we're going to go into the second hour of the film. This is pretty much where everything happens now. So the first segment is more like a build-up, getting stuff wrapped up. So this part is pretty much everyone going back in time, and we're gonna, just to speed things up on this segment, I'm gonna ask one of you what you think, and the other one can agree or disagree. Okay. So we'll start with the Thor and Rocket going to Asgard. I'm gonna give this scene to Adil. What do you think of Thor and Rocket going back for the ether?
I thought that was one of them that was done pretty well, even though I didn't exactly like Fat Thor as much, like I said, going towards the later part, because I liked the whole interaction he had with his mom, but then I also did like the interaction that Rocket had with Thor when it was kind of like, yo, she's really dead, and my family's just gone. Like, come on, you need to help me out. And then because Thor was obviously such an idiot in this film, he carried on doing whatever he wanted. So Rocket just was like, fuck,
have to carry it.
Seems like I'm going to have to do it myself then. Come on, let's go. So I feel like it was, with what they had, they did that one really well, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100. I agree.
The only really big question is what's going on with that Thor's timeline if he doesn't have his hammer?
No. So that was one thing I was talking to Lewis about in the movie. I was like, wait, did he just take Mjolnir from himself? But Captain America takes it back at the end of the movie. Yeah. Same way with the stones.
That's why he's holding it.
Yeah.
I wonder what was happening in the timeline.
Like you just made a timeline now where Thor has no Mjolnir or Stormbreaker. Like
Mjolnir is literally trying to get through time to get back to him, sort of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I 100% agree. Raz, you agree with what Adil was saying?
Pretty much, yeah. The one thing that I did like about that scene was where he has the heart-to-heart with his mom, and then he puts his hand out, and the hammer still comes to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm still worthy." So I think, yeah. But I did think that was good. I liked that scene. Immediately when I seen that scene, I was like, "I know what's happening later." Not gonna spoil it, but I know what's happening later, sort of thing.
Let's go back to when Thanos finds out. Then we'll start when Thanos first finds out.
Oh, with the whole Nebula scene and all that kind of stuff.
What did you make of that? I know some people thought that was a bit of a cheap and weird way to get Thanos introduced back to the film. What about you?
See, I don't think it was cheap. I just kind of wished. I don't know. It kind of threw me off because as soon as I saw it, I expected, like, wait a minute. Was Nebula, like, Nebula must know this was going to happen. Like, you know what I mean? If she's going to be in the same place where her dad was and that, she's going to be connected to their ship. So I thought it was like their sneaky way of saying she's going to betray him in the end. But they kind of carried on with, like, she isn't. So I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of weird that she didn't realize anything was happening until the very end. You know what I mean?
Wait, what do you mean?
So, like, wait, what part were you talking about again?
When so good Nebula goes back in time with War Machine. Yeah,
good Nebula. Yeah, and that's what I mean.
And her memories are connected to the other Nebula. Yeah. So what?
And then when War Machine leaves, and just when he leaves, and she's about to leave with him, she, like, it starts hurting her head, and she realizes they found out, innit?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's like, I don't know, how wouldn't she have just knew that, because she knew she was going back in a timeline where he was. So wouldn't she have knew that they could connect to his head?
Well, it's hard to say though, isn't it? Really, because it's like, did you expect that could happen? And we're watching the movie. Did you think that could happen? I didn't think that could happen.
No, I didn't personally. I didn't think that could happen. But after it did, I would have thought that she knew it could have happened. If you know what I mean. I didn't think that would be something she could overlook. Like, if she knew Thanos always had that kind of control, like, even if she's off the ship anywhere, he can tap into her like that. If she knew he was going to be there at the same time, did she not think it would happen? Wouldn't it track her? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, it's a weird one though, isn't it? Because it's like you've got two different people with memories connected, which is weird. Like, the idea of that is weird. Like, I gotta admit, if I was Nebula, I wouldn't think that my memories would be connected with the previous Nebula.
Yeah, same. You know what I mean? Either.
So to me, I gotta admit, it's a weird way to bring Thanos back in. And it kind of looked like they wanted to get him involved, but without, like, having, like, him seen in an actual Avenger back in time. Because it wouldn't make sense to say, well, why wouldn't you just avoid him? So it's probably the best way they could have done it, but I wasn't too fond of it myself.
Yeah, I thought it was like, when I seen it, I was like, oh, that's pretty weak. But then at the same time, I didn't know how I wanted Thanos to get back involved.
Yeah.
Like, when I did see it, though, I was just like, oh, really? Like, but then again, I don't know if I just don't like Nebula as a character. I like her. I think she's a cool character, but at the same time, I'm just like, you're not as interesting for me, and the fact she's the reason he comes back is just like, whatever.
To be fair, if he was going to come back, it probably would have been something to do with Nebula, but in the same sense, yeah, the scene is just there to bring him back forward in time.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the question I was gonna ask you then, Raz. Hawkeye and Black Widow Soul Stone. It's a more powerful scene, less comedic. Thoughts?
Ooh, right, so this scene was so intense, right? So as soon as they got there, like, I don't know if your cinema was the same, right? With my cinema, as soon as they got to the place, you could hear whispers around the cinema, like,
like breathing, like it was so
and it was just like shit. And then as soon as I was like, are they gonna see Red Skull there, or is he, like, not gonna be there? So I was kind of weird about it, but then I was like, no, because I don't know what time scale they was going to thingy, because if they went, like, many times back, they could have seen a different person protecting that stone, because they only jumped back, well, they all went in the equal time, didn't they? But,
no, because they went back with Quill's time, didn't they? They to make it easier. They went back to Quill's time so they could take Quill's ship.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah, so that scene, I was like, as soon as they got to that little, like, end point where like the person has to like die, I was like, shit. And then that scene with them two together, I was like, it was such like a beautiful scene for them two. Yeah, it was such like a beautiful scene for them two. And like the time they gave it as well was so like dramatic, because it's like they didn't try and speed that scene up. That scene was made to make you constantly have goosebumps. And then the second like it happened, in all honesty, no offense, I love both of them. I wanted Hawkeye to die. I didn't want Black Widow to die. I've seen more. Go on, sorry. Go on.
I'm with you. I would prefer Hawkeye as a character and keep Black Widow. He has a family. I like the idea that his family get to see him again more. Also, he wasn't in Infinity War. I think it would suck dick to bring him back as Ronin Hawkeye just to fucking kill him at the Soul Stone.
Yeah, so the logical idea was, she obviously had to die. She didn't really have a family. She only had the Avengers. Then I understand why she wanted to die. The scene, though, it was really dramatic, and it was very WWE-esque for me, but it was really good because it kind of like, so WWE do a thing where they have the bad guy and the good guy fight each other. The bad guy hits and everyone boos, and the good guy hits and everyone cheers. It felt the exact same for me. So Hawkeye like knocks her down, and I was like, yes. And then she knocks him down, and then she shoots him, and I was like, oh no. And then she runs, and then he shoots her, so she flies to the side.
He's actually going to die now, though, anyway.
I was like, yes, and then he jumps, and I was like, thank fuck. And she jumped after him, and I was like, no, like why? Why did that happen?
And that made it so much sadder as well, the way he did it. Like, he's trying to trying to hold on to her, and he's begging her not to, and she's just like, bye, and she
literally just like, let me go. And
you have to see her dead body at the bar.
Oh mate, they didn't have to show that either, did they? Like literally, they let you stare at that, and I was like, what, why? It was bad. But then at the same time, I did question. I was like, how's he gonna get back up? And then he just wakes up, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what happened to Thanos as well. He did just wake up.
Ideal. You agree or disagree?
No, I agree. Definitely agree.
Yeah, that scene, man. Honestly, like I was so ready to just fucking cry at that scene. Like,
that scene was one of the most emotional parts. It was,
and it's she's not coming back as soon as it happens. You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh my god, that was brutal. Okay, moving away from that, we've got the Hulk. So we're gonna move it. All the Avengers coming back, right? And unfortunately for you, dude, you get one of the more boring Avengers scenes, which is the Hulk Time Stone one. That'll be the one I give you because it's Hulk. Raz, you'll get the Captain America one. So we'll start with the Hulk time scene. We'll start with a little joke as well about. So I didn't like this joke personally, right? I'm just gonna outright say I didn't like this joke, and it was the start where Captain America says he wants Hulk to just like be more himself, and he wants to smash. So then Hulk goes forward and just like rah, and then like kicks him around. So I'm give me your to the I didn't like.
Your mic's breaking up.
Is that better? Yeah.
Yeah, you better know.
Yeah,
you better know. Yeah, what is that?
So, like I say, I didn't like that scene. I'm fully with you on this one, Adil. Give me your thoughts on it. I didn't like it personally.
I think I didn't like it. Don't get me wrong. He got a chuckle out of me.
Yeah.
He did get a chuckle out of me. But I think as soon as I saw that scene, I just knew Hulk wasn't going to be doing anything.
Exactly.
As soon as I saw that scene, I was there like, Hulk ain't going to get angry because it isn't technically Hulk. It isn't technically Bruce who gets angry. It's Hulk. So if he's going to go around and be like, look at me, it's kind of like,
it's the idea that Hulk isn't there anymore. It's just Bruce and Hulk's body now. You know what I mean?
That's all it is. A scientist with some super strength.
Yeah, and I'm fully with you on this one. You just know you're not going to see Hulk for the entire movie because of it, and it's sad because you get the whole scene with Hulk in the calf, right, when he's like, "Oh yeah, I combine brawns with brain," and it's like, but you never. As soon as that scene comes out, you're not seeing the brawns. You know what I mean?
There's nothing like that that's going to happen, and I just knew it. So, and the whole time thing,
with the ancient one.
Yeah, with the ancient one. Hit and miss. Hit and miss, to be
Go
honest.
ahead, give me your thoughts. Wait. They'll give his thoughts on the time stone bit first.
Like, with the way, what's it called, Bruce approached it, like, it was kind of like, wait a minute, I thought you guys all had a plan when you was going to go back and get these time stones, and he was just kind of like, sorry lady, I know you're really powerful and all that, but kind of give me the stone. And she just pushed him away. It's like, well, didn't you expect that to happen?
To be fair, he's never met the ancient one.
I know, but I mean, like, they all planned to go to these time stones, didn't they? And they took a while planning them.
Well,
so he knew
no,
he was going to go talk to an ancient one.
No. He thought he was talking to Strange. Remember, they addressed it in the scene.
Oh yeah. What's it called? He's Strange and all this kind of stuff.
Actually, 5 years too early, yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's a still sergeant. Oh yeah, completely forgot about that. Even still with that, I don't know. Still just a kind of a hit or miss scene. Kind of, I think the biggest part I liked about it though was when she kind of did just say yes and just give him the stone in the end.
Yeah.
Like when it probably showed off. It showed off more Doctor Strange than anything.
Yeah, exactly.
She kind of switched and was like, okay, take the stone. Fuck me.
Yeah, Strange is supposed to be the best of us. Yeah, I trust him to take it. You know what I mean?
You know what, I gotta say, they did give a nod to how smart Bruce Banner is. I did think for this whole film he was just going to be the smart, funny Hulk, but they showed how smart he was when he was able to kind of say, like, don't worry, if we do this, we can fix the timelines, you don't have to worry.
Yeah, like
at least they had a little nod to his intelligence, because, man, they act like he's dumb.
No, I'm fully with you. Like, he's more of a joke character than anything.
Man, Bruce Banner is not dumb at all. So fucking smart.
Even when they're trying to work out time travel, you know what I mean?
And he's acting there like, ugh, sorry mate, can't do anything. Just.
But yeah, so like I say, I'm with you. There was, like, bearing in mind this is one of the only Hulk scenes you get in the film. And it wasn't really a Hulk scene. It was more them using the time to explain why time travel works the way it does, and that they'll need to come back and bring the stones back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Raz, go ahead and give the full blown after the Battle of New York, Captain America. You know, go ahead, give that scene.
Oh my god, yeah. So that scene was absolutely
amazing as well.
That scene was absolutely amazing. So basically, it starts off with Iron Man coming, like, sneaking his way in with Ant-Man.
They do put the joke in there, Raz.
They do a brilliant thing where Iron Man's like, that suit really doesn't compliment your ass, and then Ant-Man's like, that is the ass of America right there.
Yeah, he's like, no. Yeah, that scene. Yeah, no. Yeah, Cap says, like, stop looking at my ass, Tony, and then Ant-Man says, Cap, don't listen to him. As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
Yeah, literally, it was absolutely amazing. Right, like, I thought that scene was really funny, and it shows the comedy side of the aftermath of the filming. I know it sounds really weird, but you know when they're all trying to get in the elevator and Hulk tries to get in, and they're like, whoa, what are you doing? You gotta take the stairs. Yeah, I thought that was absolutely brilliant. I loved that moment. Yeah. Now,
and then that's the actually only time you get to see Hulk during the film as well.
Yeah.
Hulk angry and punches the elevator doors.
Yeah, and then you take the stairs like a naughty child sort of thing. I did like that. I thought the Captain America scene with the with the elevator. So when he walks in.
Did you think he was going to say, "Does it before we get started? Does anyone want to get out?"
Yes, 100%. And I thought he was going to beat them all up.
Before we move on, I will say this: the Hal Hydra thing is the only thing that could have topped before we get started. Does anyone want to get out? To me, that's the only thing that could have topped it. But carry on, Russ. Finish the elevator bit.
Yeah. So the elevator bit with that when he got in, I don't know if I liked it or I didn't like the Hal Hydra bit.
No, it's a flashback to the comic. Remember?
Yeah, that's why it was there.
That's why I loved it.
But the thing is, right? The comic got ridiculed really badly because a lot of people were like, Captain America would never say that ever.
Exactly. But then they put a reason for why he does it in the comic. That's what I mean. So it's like Hal Hydra, and then the next comic comes out and it explains why doesn't. Everyone's like, oh yeah. So then in this film, that's why I was saying I like it, because it's like, he isn't Hydra. He just says Hal Hydra to get the briefcase. I thought that was amazing, Raz.
I don't know. I didn't mind it. I just wasn't too impressed with it. I think I would have preferred if he just battered them all. But like,
fine.
I I did think it was. I did think it was. It was whatever. They gave him the case, and then he just bowls out. He gets to. He literally. There's like some. It's like some Star Wars walkway in it. Like it is literally just a walkway where two people are gonna fight. You can imagine it being on like Mortal Kombat or Injustice or something like.
Yeah.
And literally, he's just bowling with the case, all pretty happy that like he's done his part. And then you see the original Captain America suit, and he's like, "Oh wait, no, we got to jump over to the Iron Man first." With the Iron Man thing.
It doesn't matter. Like I said, he thinks it's Loki.
Yeah. So he's like, "Guys, I've got Loki. Don't worry about it." And Cap's like, "I'm not Loki, right?" And literally, the Captain America just jumps on him, and they start wrestling. Really good fighting. I honestly love the fact that they were very much, and I wish they'd done it a tad bit more, but I did like it. They were very much doing the exact same moves on each other, which I thought was really cool. I would have liked if they carried on that kind of stuff. With the whole moves fighting each other.
No. Yeah, carry on.
What I did like was as soon as Cap kicked him off, he got up and he was like, "I can do this all day." And no way. It was fucking brilliant. I absolutely loved that scene so much. I thought it was really funny how he also played with how much he's like obsessed with Bucky. So when Cap's strangling him, he's like, "Bucky's alive! Bucky's alive!" And then he's like, "What?" And then he just knocks him down.
That's like the whole Batman scene, right? It's like, "Oh, your parents are dead," stuff like, you know what I mean? Like, "Oh, where's Martha?" This, that, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he proper played with that part, and I thought it was absolutely perfect. It was a really good scene. Like, it was absolutely brilliant. As soon as he strangled him, he's like, "Bucky's alive." I was howling because even he knows he's like overly obsessed at that point with Bucky. So I thought that scene was absolutely brilliant. It was amazing.
Okay, and I'll just quickly do the Iron Man scene then. I thought the Iron Man scene was freaking hilarious. You got to see basically you got to see how Hydra end up trying to you got to see Hydra trying to take the Tesseract from the Avengers. Because obviously in Avengers, the first Avengers film, you just see Thor and Loki going back to Asgard with the Tesseract, don't you?
Yeah.
And here you actually get to see them. You actually get to see Hydra trying to take the Tesseract by them. You get to see, like, you know, Thor and Iron Man get in an argument. And the scene's not really funny. Nothing really happens in it too much until Hulk. Until Hulk punches the door, pretty much knocks Tony the hell out. And that part's hilarious.
Did you even see Tony fly away? He literally just vanished. Like, that door opened, he was gone. He was literally gone. How that didn't kill him alone, it was surprised me. But he literally vanished. Like, I was watching Tony. Hulk comes in. I was just like, where the fuck did he go? And then he's just sitting in the car like, ow. It's like...
And then obviously this could definitely tie into the Loki TV series. We will probably get... Now that this has came out, there's a really good chance that the Loki TV series is based on an alternate timeline Loki, where he escapes after the Battle of New York, which would be very interesting to see. That would be interesting. Because if it follows that timeline, it means that it follows a timeline pre everything that we have known up until, like, past the point of the first Avengers movie. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that'd be very interesting to see. Moving on from that, then we pretty much covered that. Obviously, Tony and Cap have to go back in time. I don't want to spend too much on this scene because we're going to get into the good stuff now. Basically, it's a cool scene. Tony gets to meet his dad. It's very emotional. I think we can all agree. Same with
the cute scene, yeah.
Same with when Cap sees Agent Carter. Yeah, that was a really nice scene. It was just an emotional scene. You know what I mean? It was just a nice change of pace from the comedy and the seriousness, and just give everyone, you know, something. That part was great. Now they all come back. Right, there's one final scene as well that was absolutely freaking hilarious, and this is why I love the time travel stuff as well, because we got flashbacks to what, like, previous films looked like. So we're gonna start with the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. How cool does everyone think Quill looked in the intro?
Oh, like
singing, kicking the rats.
Yeah.
How funny was it seeing that from Rhodey and Nebula's POV with no music, and then like so he's an idiot.
Literally,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was.
he's done perfectly.
Yeah, it was absolutely perfect. As soon as they went into that cave as well, you were like, you're gonna see him dance. You're gonna see him dance, and like as soon as he starts dancing, it was hilarious. Every single part of it was absolutely brilliant.
And it's still cool, but like I say, and then as soon as the music stops and you just see him like, and you just make you dying. It's so funny.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
And like I say, Rhodey and Nebula, they have like this. Because they make that joke earlier in the movie, right? When Ant-Man sees Nebula land the ship, and he's like, "Oh, hi," and Nebula's like, "Oh, watch out, Rhodey. There's an idiot in the landing bay."
Yeah.
And then they have that here where Rhodey's like, "So he's an idiot then," and Nebula's like, "Yeah, pretty much."
Oh, yeah, that's nice. I didn't actually notice that, but that's good. Yeah.
So it's pretty freaking funny. Like War Machine and Nebula start to get a little bond, I guess. But then. And now this is when the real movie kicks in now. Like, this is when we get the final, everything. They all come back in time. They all realize Black Widow's dead. Hulk putting on the gauntlet. I'm gonna bypass the Thor joke. I'm gonna bypass that. Ideal. What were your thoughts of Hulk and the gauntlet here?
All my thoughts were, this is the only scene he's gonna get. I don't mind, because it's the only one I can legit say it makes the most sense with what they've actually done with the Hulk. Yeah. They've done so much to kind of like depower him now that he has only got his regeneration left when it comes to his gamma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he can sustain a lot of damage. That's the biggest thing about him anymore. So, and I was like, at least he's got I don't know, a big moment.
Yeah, like he has a Thanos moment where because they obviously make a point to say how powerful and only certain people can hold Infinity Stones, and then they give you. So I guess to you, this was probably the best. This was one of the best scenes of the films to you, right? It had to have been.
Yeah, it was one of the better things, but then it kind of like
it's kind of desaturated when Iron Man picks up the gauntlet. Let's say that, yeah.
It kind of desaturated, but more in the sense of like, when he's first talking like, yeah, it's got to be me. It doesn't matter about your lightning Thor. Like, look who else held it was Thanos, and it really hurt him. Like, I'm the only one who compares to Thanos, and you really look at it, and it's like, well, Thanos beat you to a pulp until you couldn't become the Hulk anymore. So let's not compare it to your power of the Thanos, and let's compare it to your just regeneration. You know what I'm saying? So, the only iffy part about it is like, you're comparing yourself to Thanos, but I still haven't saw you fighting, really.
See, I thought, obviously, I'm a massive Iron Man fan. But I also do like to stick to some kind of realism, at least inside this universe. Look how much strain it put on Hulk when he put the gauntlet on, and look at Tony. Tony puts it on with almost no problem. Don't get me wrong, Hulk survives his, and we'll move on to it in a bit. But Tony puts it on with no problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Puts it on, and it does take a while to click his fingers, to be honest.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, man. Like, you see, like, messing around on his arm, and they're like, get the gauntlet off, and like, and then like it takes. I didn't even think the click was gonna work, to be honest, the first time I saw it, but I'm glad they gave Hulk that scene. Then we obviously have Thanos blast the Avengers base to a fucking pool.
I gotta say, them cannons are shit though.
Mate, it didn't kill anyone. It didn't kill anyone.
It's a nuke. It's a nuke, but it killed nobody.
Yeah, it literally just destroyed the place.
Someone injured. The most person who was injured was Rocket, and he couldn't breathe for like 30 seconds.
So yes, but it's still a movie. How cheap would it be if your favorite character just got blasted?
I know, but Ant-Man, like, come on. He should have had like his mask at least broken or something. He got a full frontal blast, and he hasn't got fast reflexes. He has he? He's not the Flash.
Listen, they try to show the destruction and how much it does to the Avengers base. I'm with you. It doesn't kill anyone. But fuck me, does it fuck shit up? Come on, it goes from a nice lush green area to a fucking war zone.
That's my point.
Got a scratch on it.
Exactly. Yeah, that was my point. It was just it literally like they did come out kind of like a bit bruised and muddy, but they didn't come out affected like a bloody nuke just landed on them. You literally watch the Avengers base get ripped apart in like seconds, and they're all inside it. And then you've got literally Iron Man, Captain America, and and Thor all on top of it and everyone else under it. I don't know how that worked out because they were all in the exact same area together. I could understand if like they fucking, oh no, I don't know if they needed to. Maybe it would have been more interesting if they'd done like a little celebration because they thought they fucking won sort of thing. Cap and Iron Man went upstairs, you know, to fucking, I don't know, had a speech, and then Thor was up there. Maybe they could have had like a little party going on, and then that impact happened.
Yeah, I don't want to party. Fuck that. No, I like the way they did. Like, it was so instant.
It was instant, and I like the way they did it. I don't know how they would change it, but it just seemed really weird how some characters are on the top, some characters are on the bottom, and then you've got, I don't even know where Hawkeye ended up. He was like in the trains.
I will say this, I don't know how Hawkeye and Infinity going to get that far down, but you got to think, right? Like you've got like you got this cannon hitting. Honestly, I could get knocked to the right, you could get knocked to the left, and the building's going to separate. So this, you know, it's hard to predict what's going to happen if something hits a building, and where the building's going to fall and how it's going to impact where people end up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not too bothered by that. I feel where you two are coming around with the nukes. Like I say, it does make a full fucking World War II battlefield, and yet no one dies. I'm fully with you, but they do make that quite intense scene where like Rhodey can't move because obviously he's paralyzed. Rocket can't breathe.
Very proper heroic moment of Rhodey there. He literally jumps out his thing to make sure he can get Rocket like out, which is really cool because like, I don't know, like you don't really like Rhodey obviously is like a heroic character, and you know he's a war veteran and all that, but other than him being in War Machine, you never see him do anything humanly that is heroic. He's always in War Machine when he makes a heroic play.
Not since of late, back in like the first Avengers and like after. Iron Man 1 and stuff like that. Like he you know, you still see a bit of Rhodey, but I know what you mean. All right. So I'm gonna put this one onto a deal now because this is a deal. The last scene you see of the Hulk, the single last scene you see of the Hulk, and it's just Hulk holding up the building still. Yeah. Go ahead.
Just what do you want me to talk about? Like,
your disappointment.
As like you said, I'm a massive Hulk fan, but I've got such a depowered Hulk in this, and like, I'm just like, well, he held something up.
And this should be the most powerful version of the Hulk that we've seen through Marvel as well, right? Like it's brains and brawn, like you said.
It's brains and brawn, and able to click the gauntlet and live. Like, and that's the most powerful I've got. I don't understand how the scaling works. You know what I mean? Like, is he powerful or is it just regeneration now?
Also, how is he not pissed off? He just got shot by literal.
That's mine and Deal's point. It's not Hulk anymore. It's just Banner and Hulk's body, and that's why it sucks.
He doesn't have the anger anymore. He doesn't have the infinite anger. He just has Hulk's body.
Well, like I say, if you talk to Deal about that, he will tell you the anger, and he will make that story going for hours upon hours. But he's right. The anger is Hulk's kind of power.
Yeah.
It's what makes him stronger as he fights, and I feel really bad for you, because it's an amazing movie, and every single Avengers. And before I will just highlight this scene just to highlight the Hulk, because it's the last time we're pretty much going to talk about the Hulk. Is Scarlet Witch gets an amazing scene versus Thanos.
Yeah, why didn't he?
Hulk gets fucking nothing.
Yeah, why didn't he?
He doesn't even get a fight versus is it Black Star?
Yeah, he should have got a redo of it. And Strange should have got a fight with the what's it called?
With Ebony Moore. Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, but I honestly think they've done the same with Doctor Strange as they've done with the Hulk.
Yeah, it upsets me how much they don't use Strange.
The whole fight, he dealt with water. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of water.
Listen. I'm gonna defend it. I'm gonna sit here and say the boys stopped a fucking river from flowing onto the battlefield, which occupied his time. They at least listen. They at least gave a reason why Strange wasn't doing as much. Yeah. What was Hulk's reason? Hulk was ready to fight.
Yeah.
Wasn't his arm still fucked? Like his arm was.
Yeah, he jumped out and he proper roared at everyone, and that was the last you seen of him.
Yeah,
I think you seen him in the background. That was it.
Still fucked. Obviously, his arm's still fucked. The deal is right, but he can still fight.
Yeah, you don't see him. You don't know rematch, no nothing. No.
Fucking Pepper was in the fight. You saw Pepper doing stuff.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, right. Listen. I'm so sorry for you, Adil. It's sad that they didn't give Hulk a fight scene in the entire movie, not one fight scene. And the worst part is you saw Hulk get one fight scene in Infinity War and he gets clapped. The start of the film, and it's just to suck Thanos' dick. I feel so bad for you, Adil.
Mhm.
My heart goes out to you. Maybe they'll do him justice. He's one of the early last Avengers from the original cast.
That's
So
what I
at least
mean.
you've got that going for you. He probably won't do anything, but you've got that going for you.
That's what I mean.
Well,
Are
it's
they
not
even?
mental,
Will
it's
they
just gonna be
show
a
Hulk
mental or
again or
something.
what? Like,
Exactly right. So we're gonna move on from that. We're gonna skip the entire building scene now. Like it pretty much all plays out. Ant-Man saves some stuff. It's a cool scene. You know, it's whatever though. Tony, Thor, and Cap fighting Thanos. I'm gonna give this range as much as we would all like a say in it. I'm gonna give this one to Raz because Raz's character gets the single best scene in the entire freaking movie. Across Infinity War, EndGame, every Marvel film, this is the best moment across all films. Raz, take the reins.
Okay, right. So basically, you have all three of them, right, stand up on a hill. And they're like, what is he doing? And Thor's like, he's just sitting there, right? And literally, they have a bit of like communication. And then Thor's basically like, right, we're all on the same page, aren't we? And they're like, yeah. He's like, so we're going to kill him. And then all you see is the fucking clouds go, a bolt of lightning hit him. He's fucking... I don't even know what the fuck he is. He's fat Thor, but with fucking beef. Like, he looks sick, but at the same time, I would have preferred if he lost a bit of weight. Right, that scene alone I thought was so fucking cool because you seen Thor ready to fucking run, but I have no idea how he's supposed to wield a hammer and the blade at the same time, right? But he tried to make it work. I'll give him it, right? So with that scene, right, they all like go up to Thanos. He basically like shit talks them a bit, and then they have like a fight with him. Now, one thing I do love, right, they kind of like, so Cap goes in for like his like little combo, right, and Cap just gets fucking thrown away like he's nothing. But that's a good thing on Cap because Cap don't back down. Cap, you throw him away, he just comes back 5 minutes later, like, and they always put that across on Cap, like he never just stays down. Right?
Real quick. Just want to highlight another throwback that they make because they make a lot of throwbacks in the movie, and I think it's nice to call them out and how much time they put into it. The first Avengers film, when Thor zaps Tony with the lightning, and it's like power at like 700%, and he's like, oh, well, would you look at that? And you see he's designed his suit in a way that can harness Thor's lightning and do something with it. I thought that was so
that was amazing. And jumping straight to that point, one thing I actually didn't like that had no effect. Literally, Thor zap me. Thor fucking smacks both his hammers straight into his back. He then shoots Thanos, and Thanos gets rid of it with his blade. He spins his blade, and it stops that. The power that's coming from their suit, that suit alone, fuck me, probably had more power than them fucking rockets that were coming down, and he just with his blade, and it got rid of it. I watched it, and it was like, it wasn't like jaw dropping, like, oh my god, that's amazing. It was like, oh my god, how is he doing that? That's like bullshit. There's no way. And then like,
one hard thing to watch about this film was seeing how much of a fight certain characters put up against that a full Gem Infinity Gauntlet on Thanos. Seeing how hard they fight him and how well they fight him to a Thanos with no Infinity Stones, and they kind of get clapped for a really long time.
Yeah, and it was like a lot of combos that like went down. It didn't seem to affect him other than in a minute. So then, right, Iron Man basically like jump because he realizes that apparently apparently Thor's energy isn't strong enough. So Iron Man thinks, you know what, fuck it, I'll just go solo. So fucking Iron Man jumps over his head and starts shooting him. Right, he basically gets clapped away. Thor then goes for a one-on-one with Thanos, which is obviously extremely interesting because Thor wants Thanos. That's all he wants is Thanos in a 1v1 where he can finally use Stormbringer against him.
By the way, this is the only reason I like Thor being fat. It's the only reason I can imagine Thor not clapping Thanos here.
Yes, 100%. Now they're having this fight, right? I don't know what did Thanos. No, Thanos didn't hit Mjolnir away, did he?
No.
Mjolnir just disappeared, right?
I think early on, like Mjolnir was just on the ground somewhere.
Yeah,
he was just
right.
Shooting,
So anyway, Thanos and Thor are fighting, right? Clearly, Thanos is muscular, stronger than Thor, and you can see that just from Thor's weight. And it's actually upsetting because, you know, if Thor was in his full physique, He would have
Well,
fucking
Well,
wiped the floor.
we saw Thor endure a full Infinity Gauntlet blast at Thanos at the end of Infinity War, like a full Gauntlet blast with Stormbreaker going straight through to get to him. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So then you have they like fight, and then he literally boots Thor away. He hits off a rock, and he's fully leathering Thor. Like Thor is just taking punch and punch to the face, which I love about Thor, because he just can, because he's a god. So it's obviously hurting him, but at the same time, it probably doesn't affect him as much as it probably would Cap or Iron Man. You know what I mean? A full punch to the face. So he's just taking like leathers to the face, and then he tries to stab him with Stormbreaker. Then you have this epic moment where like they're pausing, and he's trying to push Stormbreaker away as Stormbringer's coming in. Out of nowhere, he gets fucking knocked flying away. The fucking hammer is in fucking Cap's hand, and it's just like, it's fucking emotion, man.
The entire cinema was roaring when that happened.
Literally, as soon as that happened, it was like fucking when someone wins a fucking boxing match. The whole fucking place just erupted, and even Cap knows whoever's watching this fucking film is going mental right now, because he gives like a smirk to the fucking camera almost to be like, you fucking know.
I was so excited for you when I saw that scene. I was like, Raz is gonna fucking lose his shit. Real talk. The day before Adil went to see Endgame, it was so hard for me not to spoil it for him, because he was like, and they do these things, right, where like in Age of Ultron, where like Cap tries to move the hammer and it moves a little bit, and it's like, oh, can he do it? And Adil's like, yeah, no, he can't. And then I was like, because then you obviously he gets the scene when he wields Mjolnir. What did you think of that scene, Adil, real quick?
My bad. Love-hate relationship with the scene.
Really?
No, don't get me wrong. I loved it. I did really like it, but I don't know. There was just a part of me that was like, did we have to do this?
Yeah,
I think it's
100%.
I agree with Raz. I think they did have to do it.
100%, because they needed to do it, because they teased it in Age, right? And the thing is, Cap is worthy over like every other person. Cap's always going to be worthy with that hammer, and they always try and put across that Cap is actually like a fucking worthy of like that. And then even Thor knows, because as soon as he hits him with the fucking Mjolnir, he's like, I knew you could pick it up, because he fucking knew he would be able to.
Also, Adil, the Marvel Universe isn't Avengers, it's Captain America and Iron Man. You know that. I know that. We know that. Like,
I knew. I said that before I went to see the film. I was talking. Me and you was talking about it's. Avengers isn't Avengers, it's Captain America
and Iron Man. So, like I say, I love this scene because I think Cap gets his send-off in it. It got me hyped. And Raz, I'm going to let you talk about the fight scene right now, because I can feel you bursting to talk about it. I'm going to say one thing. He uses Mjolnir better than Thor. It's insane. Raz, go right, give me all your excitement.
Literally, right. So the best part of this whole thing now, right? He has his fucking shield in one hand, Mjolnir in the other, right? It's like he has fucking trained for this day for fucking years.
Which is weird. He's got the combos down.
Literally, right. My man is throwing his shield. Thanos fucking blocks it. He throws fucking Mjolnir. It bounces off the shield to fucking pop Thanos' fucking eardrums. He's literally pulsating with fucking lightning, smashing the floor and everything. Oh my god, this whole scene was just epic. And it's actually insane, because it sounds so weird, but you could not watch the scene because you was that happy in the moment. You couldn't actually think of what was going on. Like, I was watching it and I was just mind blown. Like, he's just clapping him with fucking combos that I've never seen, and it was just like, how is this man so fucking good? And literally, right, the selling of fucking Thanos, literally Thanos is just getting his ass whooped, and you are just like, this guy's the fucking G-man. Who even needs anyone? And then they can't, and then they turn it. and they kind of, I don't know, it was kind of weird, right? He gets that moment where he literally fucks Thanos up, and then Thanos fully rages out. Now, Thanos doesn't get stronger with anger or anything like that, so I don't even know how this works.
It could get more motivated.
I guess
anger can be used on anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. And he fucking swings at Cap that hard. Cap blocks it with the shield, and it goes straight into the fucking shield. The very top of the shield is now cracked, and he pulls it out. Go on.
Who thought Cap was gonna die here?
Me.
I thought it was gonna.
As soon as he hit Cap's leg and you heard Cap scream, you was like, "Fuck!" And then as soon as he smashed it on the shield, I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah.
Because they gave him such an epic scene beforehand. I was like, "Yeah, this is it now." It's like when Tony has his scene versus Thanos, right? Like on Infinity War. And then, like,
exactly.
It's so similar.
Yeah.
Carry on.
And then what's it called? He hits on the fucking shield that much that the shield fucking cracks in half. And I was like, he's gonna fucking die here. Then they give it a bit of fucking space, and you get Cap's fucking final stand moment, and it's so good.
And he tightens the thing around his arm.
Literally, Cap standing there, right, as Cap always does, at the forefront of the battle. Thanos is standing there, and his army is approaching, and Cap literally just tightens his strap, and it's like, he ain't gonna back down. He will just try and take on your army because that's Cap. That's all he's gonna do. And then you get the perfect moment.
All right, Raz, that seed's played now, Raz. We gotta move on now. We gotta move on now.
Go on, hit me with it.
We gotta throw this one to a deal now. We gotta throw this one to a deal because this is more of a Doctor Strange scene. The on your left scene when Strange opens all of the portals. A deal. Give you thoughts.
Yeah, my thoughts. Well, I was just waiting because, like, do you know when you said when Thanos was attacking Captain America's shield and he was breaking and he stood up, I was there like, I didn't think he was gonna die. I just knew it was coming because as soon as, like, obviously Hulk snapped his fingers and there was life in the air and everyone's back, I thought, like, so everyone needs to get here. Everyone needs to get here. You got Chloe to my side, who's a man.
No, you just broke up.
What was that deal? I think you just stopped pushing to talk.
Oh shit, my bad.
You got Chloe on the side,
No, I got Chloe on the side who's really excited about Spider-Man. Massive Spider-Man fan saying, like, where is he? I thought he clicked his fingers. Isn't he here yet? Why isn't he here?
No, he was under the planet.
Literally,
so then obviously, just rubbing my hands together, waiting. So when all these portals started opening, I was like, it's the boys, Black Panther, everybody's coming through. I was kind of surprised that it was Black Panther. To
I
the
thought
first one,
Falcon first. Yeah, I thought Falcon was first.
I thought it was gonna
obviously you get the on your left scene, don't you, from Winter Soldier, which is another amazing throwback.
Yeah,
by the
honestly,
way.
like, I thought the first people that should have came through would have been
Winter
Cap's
Soldier
boys. It would have
agree.
been Cap's boys, then following everyone else's kind of boys.
So,
then
yeah, I agree. It's Black Panther's army, which is what makes it more epic. But yeah, like Falcon and Winter Soldier both disappeared in Wakanda as well. So, like, have them come through first, and then have T'Challa come in with his boys. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah,
so,
that would have been. Go on.
What's it called? And then loved it when I saw the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Drax
just jump out ready to kill anything, even though he's got no idea what's on the other side. Oh, it was just.
You see like Strange looking there, man. Yeah, I agree. Goosebumps, literal goosebumps.
And then, I've got to say, I know this is a little bit further past this scene, but
carry on.
After they brought Spider-Man back, they just did so good with him. I thought.
Oh my god, yeah, Spider-Man was the quarterback here. Yeah,
we're talking about people getting shafted. Spider-Man just got his golden 15 minutes.
They always do. Spider-Man,
perfect, man. It was insane.
I think they used Spider-Man really well in the scene. So basically, I'll quickly finalize everything up. Everyone comes through, and then Cap's then got all his back. Thanos has all his, and you get that moment where they're literally just running at each other. And I always think, I don't know why, but I always think as like people are running at each other, it's going to end. I don't know why, but I always think the credits are then going to roll.
I'm with you on that. They're like, fucking Avengers Endgame 2.
Yeah. So like they like running at each other and they all start fighting and everything. You have an awesome moment where you've got Hawkeye or Ronin running through trying to defend their thing.
Wait, Raz. We gotta give people thoughts. We're nearly done. We ain't gotta rush.
Go on.
All right. Listen, okay.
I was just trying to get to Spider-Man, but yeah, go on.
No one gives a shit about Hawkeye, Raz. Listen, did you care about Hawkeye?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was just getting to Spider-Man.
Okay. We're just gonna skip past Hawkeye, Raz. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, literally.
All right, a deal.
Yep,
In fact, actually, you do the last one. You do the last one, a deal. Right, Raz. Raz.
Yeah.
Alright, Raz. Give your thoughts on the Scarlet Witch scene.
Oh, okay. That was really cool, actually.
It was amazing.
Like, that was actually awesome, and it was a real epic, like, moment. Like, so, who was Thanos actually fighting at that point? Or was he just chasing for the gauntlet?
No, he was chasing Black Panther. He was getting the gauntlet off of Black Panther.
Yeah, so he was like literally chasing Black Panther or whatever, and then Scarlet Witch literally appears in front, and she's like, "You fucking took everything from me."
My God,
and it's like you know how pissed she is, and
he's like, "I don't even know."
He's like, "I don't even know who you are," and the funny part is, like she's like, "Yeah, fucking." Does she say you will in a moment or something?
She says you will.
Yeah. And she literally, like, she
killed him there and then if he didn't have his ship.
Yeah, like, literally, like, she literally just splattered him with boulders. Yeah. And then she was basically, like, crushing him with his own fucking armor, which was awesome. Yeah. Like, that whole scene was absolutely brilliant.
I'm fully with you, Raz. And here's the thing. I think Adil can appreciate it. But you got to think... Hulk gets his literal ass kicked.
Yeah, Hulk should have got a moment there.
Scarlet Witch is so strong, but this isn't even the comic book Scarlet Witch, and she does this to Thanos. We're seeing Thor get clapped. We're seeing Cap get clapped with Mjolnir. We're seeing all these characters get clapped, and whilst I love that Scarlet Witch did what she did to Thanos, Hulk didn't even get a fight scene.
Yeah, honestly,
he was going to kill him there and then if it wasn't for his ship.
Yeah, honestly, he... I don't even... That scene was needed for her to like have a fight with him. It wasn't really good scene.
It's not more like I think that scene was wrong. It's more I just think certain characters should have also had a similar scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, you know what? They should have had the same kind of... Right, so they should... maybe not. She would have just wiped the floor with him. I don't know. I want Hulk to be involved in that scene, but not... So I wanted her to, like, fly down. I'm just going to quickly throw something in that's just popped into my head. Right, so she flies down. She's like... Fucking, you took everything from me. He's like, I don't even know who you are. You then have, you know, that sidekick who was the big cheese who had the fight with Bruce Banner when he was in the Iron Man suit. He's then with Thanos, right? He then, I don't know, fucking roars. Hulk then jumps in and he gets to fight him and he just dismantles him. And then you have Scarlet have the fight with fucking Thanos. Maybe something so Hulk got a little piece in where you got to see Hulk actually do something, then just hold up a building for his like showing. Like I don't know. I wanted something out of Hulk in that whole fight. I don't even think he's seen him fight anyone. Like you didn't even like. I think you don't even know if you've seen him in background.
He didn't even get a fight scene.
Pretty upsetting. Yeah.
This is what I mean. Like.
Sorry.
My bad, his name's not Blackside, it's called Obsidian. Yeah, like I'm fully with you, man. Like he didn't get a fight scene, and I love Scarlet Witch's fight scene. And honestly, you've got the strongest Avenger. They even make a joke about it in Thor Ragnarok. When Thor's like, "Oh, you're strongest Avenger," no, and then Banner comes and he's strongest Avenger. Welcome back, Banner. He doesn't even get a scene. Come on, like you used him to show how strong Thanos was in the first Avengers, or sorry, in the Infinity War, like by clapping him, and you don't even give him a redemption on fucking Cull Obsidian, who is, at least from what you expect the Marvel Cinematic Universe to be. Don't get triggered, Adil. Don't get triggered. The way Marvel have, well, to be fair, Marvel have underpowered Thanos' children as well. You know what I mean, don't you? Like, yeah, like Cull Obsidian, and I can't think of a better match for Hulk in the cinematic universe for a cinematic fight than Cull Obsidian or Black Dwarf even. Just you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I mean. Like I just think I love the Scarlet Witch scene, man. I'm with you, Raz. But I think it highlights the fact that certain characters also didn't get that scene. I didn't need it from Thor because we got it in Infinity War. They need it from like, Cap got his scene, Thor got his scene, Iron Man got his scene. At some point across the two movies, these characters got their scene, and Hulk never did. You know what I mean? Biggest disappointment for me for the film. And I can only imagine how Adil feels. I reckon if any moment of that film Adil wanted to cry, it was when the credits rolled and he didn't get his scene.
I was just happy I knew that there wasn't any end credits.
Yeah, see,
To be honest,
yeah,
I
we
realised
waited
that.
for them. I think I told you that there was no end credits.
Yeah,
right?
you warned me, so.
No, there was a
Like,
sign
because
on
honestly,
the.
if you didn't tell me, I would have waited for like something like the Hulk to twitch at the
Oh
end
my
to
God.
be like, oh
Yeah.
shit, is the next film gonna be Hulk
That would
Rampage?
be-
Let's go.
that would-
So yeah.
But yeah, so moving away from the Scarlet Witch one, and we're almost finished now. Captain Marvel's entrance. I want to say that entrance almost rivaled Thor's in Infinity War without a quote, or at least they went for it with the guns aiming up. She comes down, destroys Thanos' entire ship in seconds, right? They create that epic moment. She comes down. I want to say they went for that Infinity War Thor entrance, but not many people are into Brie Larson, and that's why, to me, a lot of people. It's not that it wasn't well received; it just wasn't Thor's entrance. Thoughts are from both of you here. We'll start with Raz on this one.
Yeah, you didn't really get like, so through the whole of the like film, you got like certain mark out moments where you had like people in the cinema erupting. Now I think, yeah, as you're right, I think they did go for a mark out moment when she went through the ship. No one really commented. Like literally, the cinema was it was just like they were viewing. There was a lot of moments like, Cap wielding the Mjolnir and all that sort of stuff where people were absolutely losing their mind. And then you had scenes where people were just thinking it was amazing and like, chanting and stuff. That you didn't have nothing really going for it. Maybe because they might not have watched Captain Marvel, or maybe they just ain't into her at all. But I'm with you with the whole idea of like, maybe people aren't just buying her, like people just ain't getting her as much as we want. But I did think it was really cool, and I thought it was awesome, her going straight through the ship. But one thing is, she basically does that in Captain Marvel. Her doing it again, it's like, you know what I mean. I've seen you do that. Like, can you do some else? It would have been cooler if she tried to like flip the ship or something, or or you seen her go through the ship and start like battering people through the ship or whatever. Like, oh no.
That being said, she just pretty much saved them. They are pretty much on the brink of fucking. It is the same thoughts, and they are pretty much on the brink of being wiped out by those guns. So
yeah. Like it was a good scene. Like she did do her part, and I think the scene when she like lands and then she does she like kind of wipes the floor of everyone. I do like the fact she went straight for Thanos as well, and I love the fact when she's fighting him for the gauntlet.
She didn't go straight to Thanos. She went to the spider.
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah, she did, didn't she? Yeah, because she was helping with the gauntlet, weren't she?
Yeah.
So when Thanos actually got, go on, sorry.
We're not going too far ahead. I want to hear Adil's thoughts on it as well. Adil, thoughts on the Captain Marvel entrance?
Okay, like you said, just I think it was their version of the Infinity War 4 entrance and all that kind of stuff. But I think my biggest problem with Captain Marvel is that she's got that for the whole of the EndGame anyway, she's got that real attitude of like, man, you guys are just a drag. I can sort this out. Just tag along if you want to, all this kind of stuff. And like, don't get me wrong, with her kind of powers, you can understand it. But because Captain Marvel doesn't have such a big platform as, say, Captain America with so many films,
it just comes across negatively.
It comes across as like, calm down, mate. Like, who the fuck are you? If you could really sort it out that much, just sort it out. And she's like, well, other planets are going through problems, and it's like, oh, so why are you here then? If you're acting like this is bigger than this is smaller than you, go away. But you're not, so help. If she had more movies, more of like a presence within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think it would be fine. Like how we all can deal with Spider-Man being childish, Iron Man being like obnoxious, shit like that. But because she's had one film, it's kind of like, who are you?
Yeah, and even that film, the film like itself was probably really good, but like the press tour as well built up a lot of negative press around it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I will say this, as someone who didn't watch the Captain Marvel films, I really liked Captain Marvel in this film. I thought they gave her the perfect amount of screen time as well.
Yeah, they
I
did
think
give they
just
did give
some of the
her.
words were a bit off.
Yeah,
apart from-
yes, some of the words are a bit off. I really did like Captain Marvel in this movie. I'll say that. Adio, listen, you know what I'm like for short-haired women as well. I've never found Brie Larson
I
attractive
bet I
before.
knew as soon as she came up on that hologram, I bet you was dribbling.
Listen to me. The short-haired Brie Larson is really, to me, I think is really attractive. But that being said, we're going to move on to the area that Raz was going to go into now. Wave's going to carry it on, and that was going towards the female Avengers scene. Raz, give me your thoughts on that. When they basically said, "Don't worry, she's got help."
It's cool. I don't know how I feel with them kind of scenes. I think it's really cool. I do like them.
Yeah.
I think they are kind of like in your face. I actually can't remember like exactly what happened in it, but
Oh, basically, I'll just quickly summarize it for you, just so you get it. Captain Marvel gets the gauntlet. She said, Spidey says, "How are you going to get it through all that?" Then every female like fighter there says, "Don't worry, she's got help."
okay, does she actually get it? She don't even get it anyway, does she? Don't
She
get
almost
far.
gets it there. No, she gets it there, and then Thanos throws his blade and knocks it back. She actually get it where she needs to initially, though.
Okay, so maybe any other character but Captain Marvel. That scene,
Yeah,
okay.
because she doesn't need them, does she? You know what I mean?
100%. That's
That
what
was
I was
my
just thinking.
problem with the scene.
She doesn't need them at all. Like right. So the way that plan goes, right? Oh, don't worry, she's got help. She goes create a distraction while I fly over everyone.
Literally,
That's
like,
what happens. It's not like she doesn't need anyone. She's literally bulletproof and more
honestly,
everything. Like she just goes, "Get out of my way," then, and I'll do it on my own. Like if it was
honestly,
any
yeah.
other character, it would have been cool. But because it was her, it was just like, I was just like, okay, like whatever. Like I don't get it. That's like literally like. That's like giving the Hulk it and then being like, everyone protect the Hulk while he like runs through people.
Not even everyone. It's like Hawkeye being like, yeah, like let's protect the Hulk boys.
Yeah,
and it's like, what do you mean? What
exactly.
can you do?
Yeah, exactly. Literally, it's just like, well, what can you do? Like,
yeah, like I'm
she's-
fully with you. Like to me, like, and it's you can't even like make the argument like, oh yeah, it's just like you don't really like the idea of the women doing that. It's like me, like I love Captain Marvel taking down the ship. I love Scarlet Witch doing what she did because they felt smooth and natural through the film. That was
great.
forced. That was so like, let's put every female Avenger on the screen.
Yeah,
Don't worry, she's got help. And it's like, again, it's not a bad scene. It's cool. It is very cool. But like you say as well, you've got Captain Marvel with a gauntlet. A lot of these characters aren't necessary right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally, it's just like maybe give it like I don't know, like Gamora. I don't know, anyone, like anyone else. Then yeah, and then have Captain Marvel show up because they can't get it the full way there, and she kicks ass sort of thing. And it's like, oh, you know what? Fair
she does get it the
dues.
full way there.
Yeah, but she didn't need anyone to help her get it there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what
like,
I mean. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point.
Have someone else get it mostly there, and then her sort of finish it.
You agree with that deal?
Yeah, I agree with it. Not gonna lie. If you said, like you said, if it wasn't Captain Marvel holding the gauntlet, it wouldn't have felt forced. But because it was her holding the gauntlet, it's kind of like what it is.
Also, like, what did they do? Just be like, everyone meet back here in 5. Like, there's a battle going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
yeah, it's like
stances in like fight, like all Marvel films, like with obviously for Captain America and all that, looking over Thanos when they all go into first fight. And it's like you said, it kind of needs to link in together. And then
literally, people are like
around Spider-Man. It's kind of
like people are getting like ripped apart and everything. Like there's a full-blown battle scene going on. Imagine, right, you're Captain America, right, you're wielding fucking Mjolnir, your shield, right, you've got fucking Iron Man's missus to your right, you've got fucking Black Panther's sister to your left. You're fucking fighting away, right, you turn to your right, she's gone, you turn to your left, she's gone. They're all on a fucking hill posing.
I'm fully with you though. Like I said, the only issue, it just felt like a forced scene. It needed to feel more natural, like they had been fighting, like that maybe they get knocked back into that area, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, like an explosion knocks them back, something like that. It felt very forced, and like it was put there for a reason. That being said, it didn't take away from the film one bit. I think it still added to it. I think it just could have been done better.
It's the same as the one in Infinity War though, like the scene with Black Widow and everything, when there was like, who's gonna beat me, and then
that
it was like,
cool,
she's
though.
not
I
alone.
fucking
I
like
thought,
that,
yeah,
though.
I thought, yeah, that was a better version of
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like, because that
Wanda
was like,
Ranch is
oh
why was
shit,
she up
like,
there
yeah,
the whole time?
yeah, yeah, like,
That one, yeah, I agree. That one was just a better version of it. I agree with you 100. 100. All right, moving on from that. So we've basically got the end now, right? So Captain Marvel is fighting Thanos. I gotta admit, I fucking laughed so hard when Thanos headbutted her and she was just staring at him.
Yeah, I
Oh
thought that was a
my
really good scene. But that's what I mean. Them scenes like that are the scenes that show how much power is.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you don't need to, like, just fly around and just whoop people.
Yeah.
A scene where Thanos fully headbutts her
At
full power
100.
and she doesn't even flinch. She's just like, mate, she's
just
fucking
death
powerful.
staring him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like, damn, that's cool.
And that Thanos pulls the Power Stone out, hits Ethel. That was so freaking epic.
That was awesome.
So cool.
Because she had no fear for that gauntlet whatsoever. And when he pulled the stone out, you seen her like, shit. Like, like she actually like was like, oh damn.
We'll say this as well,
cool.
Captain Marvel, I think, like I say, she had about 15 minutes screen time in total. And it always felt like she got shit done in those 15 minutes. I really liked it. Like, she stopped Thanos from snapping his fingers. You know what I mean? Like, she took down his entire ship. She was one of the big reasons they killed him the first time they did. Like I say, man, Captain Marvel, I thought she was great in this movie. But then, probably the best scene and saddest scene in the entire movie. Tony looks to his right and sees Strange holding up his one finger to tell him this is the one. Tony goes for it. He swaps the gauntlets. And then Thanos says, I am inevitable. I would normally laugh at this scene when he snapped his fingers, but I had a lump in my throat because I knew what was going to happen. And then we got a throwback to Iron Man 1 when he says, I am Iron Man. Snaps his fingers, and this scene, was awesome. This scene, the only thing that scene did was make me cry almost. That scene was,
that scene.
The funniest part about that scene.
Go ahead.
Well, because I went to such a late showing, and obviously
you went to the bathroom.
Until second day. No.
Thank God.
When after he snapped his fingers, and obviously just a couple minutes after that, not really say much, 4 people left the cinema.
What?
Really?
They literally just got up and left. Honestly, just got up and left.
Before or after?
No. After obviously Iron Man's. They just left, and one of them just shouted "fuck" on as they was leaving.
Jesus.
Honestly, 4 people just left the cinema.
What? Just sheer assault?
Must have been, like I said, like as one of them was going out, all you heard was "fuck."
Man.
No, I promise you, I cannot. I've got
that scene.
Proof with my girl. Like honestly.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're making it up anyway. Like, who would make that up? But like,
it's mad that somebody actually just left.
Yeah, man. Like, that scene to me was one of the best scenes in the movie. I didn't like Pepper's reaction. Thought it could have been better. Not the actresses, the decision on the whole of what they wanted that reaction to be. Because the reaction they obviously told her to do was like, basically react after he's died and not before he's died. Which I think Lewis said he liked. But I wanted more devastation from Pepper. I thought Peter's was perfect. Rhodey's was air. I wanted a Cap one. We didn't get. Maybe that would have been too much. They probably tried it, and it was like, all right, this is dragging out a bit now. You know what I mean? Like, come on. The boy's supposed to be dying. Let's not huddle him like, hello, Tony. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought Pepper's reaction could have been a bit more devastating. But honestly, that is now my all-time favorite quote, followed by Iron Man snapping his fingers.
Yeah, I thought like Pepper's reaction was, I don't. The thing was, for me anyway, like I think it was what, I don't know if they would try to put that across. I didn't know if he was dead or he was just absolutely out of it because he's absolutely drained.
No, you knew he was fucking dead as soon as he was
No, like as soon as he snapped his fingers, once he like got to that like corner part, I was like I was like, he's obviously like literally
Brad,
out,
he was
like
fucked, man. You saw his face.
that's what I mean. His whole face was like fucking burnt to a crisp. But well, not his whole face, like half his face. But I was like, I honestly thought, is he gonna pull through this? Like, is he actually gonna pull through? And then like after like. Yeah, like I did kind of like the whole like Spider-Man like reaction.
Yeah.
Peppers, it was. I did like the whole
50-50.
thing, like we're all safe now, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then he kind of just went, and it was like, I didn't mind that. I did really like it. It was really like good. It was really emotional. I don't know that. Like it was I don't know. I generally don't know. Like it was a bit weird. It was a bit of a weird response to it. Like I didn't know how to respond to it. Because right, here's the thing, right? Once the film ended, I was saying on the way home, I was like, the thing is, I think Iron Man as a character has to die. He can't live because he is Iron Man forever. He can't. No, I agree. He has to die, and I was like, and that's one thing that I loved about the whole.
It's super important to fucking like change up the Marvel universe as well going forward as well. Like getting Cap and Iron Man off the screen, like me and Adil was saying, it's not Avengers right now. It's Iron Man and Cap.
Yeah, but like, that's what I mean. It's like the thing is the only way I wanted Iron Man to die was to the only way I wanted Iron Man to end was to die. Like if Cap dies, it would have hurt me. Iron Man, I always felt needed to die because it was one of them moments where it was like Iron Man's never gonna see himself good enough until he's dead, until he's literally killed himself in a fight.
To me, I needed Iron Man to die because it would have the most emotional impact on me as a whole, as for like characters. Which is, let me just get Adil's thoughts on it before we move on. What did you think of the I am Iron Man deal, and then he snaps the fingers and kills himself?
Perfect. Honestly, perfect.
Yeah.
Like you said, except for the whole obviously power scaling of like how can you actually click your finger.
Exactly. Like because he puts the gauntlet on with no problem as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Take away from that, as soon as Thanos saw his hand, he was like, "Where my gems?" I was like, "Bye, Tony, man, bye, Tony." But then at the same time, as soon as he snapped his fingers, I'm not gonna lie, Iron Man hasn't always been one of my favorite characters, but damn, he is now one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
it does kind of show off like. I am Iron Man. No matter what. To the very end, I am Iron Man.
Exactly, man. It was goosebumps talking about it right now, boys. Goosebumps talking about it right now.
Like it was such a like emotional moment, and in all honesty, I'm gonna probably go and watch the film again. Like because I want to like re-experience it all, so I can take more of it in. But. No man, the whole Iron Man scene, it was a perfect scene for Iron Man. He didn't need to fight like Thanos in that, like again, like you got the fight between him and you got that fight. The swipe of the stones was awesome. I thought it was really good. When everyone was like, I know what you're saying when you're like, well, how can he wield the stones? In one sense, I kind of thought that he built the gauntlet, like it looked like he built the gauntlet for him anyway, because it was very Iron Man themed.
Well, it wouldn't matter if he built it for him or not. He still shouldn't have the power level of holding it. Look what he did to the Guardians of the Galaxy in the first film.
Yeah, I know, but then I was thinking maybe he's like tried to get around it somehow by I don't know, his knowledge.
They would have made a real talk to explain that. You know what I mean? Because even when they was trying to put the gauntlet on, there was like who's actually powerful enough to wield it. If they did that, Tony could have just been like, I can do it. You know what I mean? I made it, so I can do it.
Yeah, well, obviously he couldn't do it because it fucking killed him. But I was like, maybe he built something that would reduce its power on him or anything like that. But I don't, obviously not, because he died by it. But it was really cool, and I thought I don't know how he swiped the glove or how that worked. I don't know if it kind of was like a weird...
I'm just gonna go nanoids. Just go nanoids. Simplest solution.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like his glove just attached to that glove and just moved him across, sort of thing. Yeah. That's what I was thinking, kind of thing, which was really smart. I thought the scene was absolutely perfect, like literally perfect for Iron Man.
Perfect ending. All right, skipping past this now. It was an amazing, probably for me, the best scene in the movie because of the quote as well. We're gonna skip past Tony's funeral, apart from the fact that we're gonna set up Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with the speculation. Gamora wasn't actually with them, but she didn't disappear. Otherwise, they would have made.
I really want to talk about this.
We are absolutely going to talk about it. You know what? Actually, Let's get rid of the Cap going back in time, and then we'll bring it up. Right, Raz, I have nothing to say about this. I doubt he'll have much to say. It's just Cap retiring the stones. This is your scene now. Go ahead. How did that make you feel?
Okay, I think it was if they're never gonna make another Captain America film or not show him again in like other things, I thought that was the best way for Cap to go, because it gave him what
a happy ending.
Yeah, it gave him what everyone wanted Cap to have, and that was his final dance with Peggy and actually to live his life with her, which was really awesome. I do actually love the fact that he gave Falcon the shield over Winter Soldier.
Disagree, massively disagree.
No, right.
Huge disagree.
Do you remember when when I think it was like Avengers 1 came out, right? And you was like trolling me, saying like Cap's gonna die one day and just give the shield to Winter Soldier. I was like, I'll kill myself if he does that. Like, I literally like no, I didn't want Bucky to have it.
Right. Wait. Before we go on, Adil, who's the better choice to pass on the mantle? Is it the Winter Soldier or is it Falcon? In your opinion, and you can explain. You can explain.
See, comic books, book.
No,
movie,
don't talk to me. Now you talk to me again. I'm gonna give you my opinion on it. Disagree, agree. Winter Soldier is he has the super soldier serum in him. He is Captain America 2.0. He is also Cap's childhood friend, who he has known and has a stronger bond with than Falcon. To me, that scene looks to me like Falcon has nothing. There's no reason he should take the mantle of Captain America. He has not earned it in my eyes. He cannot fight like Captain America. He does not have the super soldier serum, and he doesn't even have as much of a bond as the Winter Soldier and Cap do. To me, that scene is trying to be don't want to say woke, but that's like, okay, you've got a white dude and a black dude right here. Are you gonna pass it to another white dude and get bad PR, or are you gonna pass it to another black dude? Yes, you can make the argument they've both had it in the comic books. Falcon is vaguely different in the comic books to what he is in this movie, where he actually has some form of powers. This Falcon has nothing that would warrant him getting the shield. Nothing. Carry on and give me your thoughts of why you think Falcon should have got it. Both of you. We'll start with Raz is gonna go more in depth with it, so I'll take Adil's first, and we'll do Raz's last.
Like you said, there's mostly there. One, we could say from bad PR in the sense of, wow, we were actually moving forward with Captain America and we're still just gonna go with the white version when there actually is a black version. But then at the same time, I don't know. I don't mind it. Really don't mind it. I just thought, they're not gonna do book, so go with that.
They're not gonna do
more. Remember when I was talking to you about the new Marvel kind of thing?
Yeah.
I feel that's what I'm saying, man. I really do feel like they want to push the new Marvel after this whole EndGame thing. Definitely after they, like you said, they passed it to the black guy instead of the white one.
Like I say, man, I just, from a logic point, if I'm Captain America, I just don't think it makes sense to pass it to Falcon. Like from the PR thing, like I said, you're gonna get better PR from passing it to Falcon, but from a story perspective, I just think it makes infinitely more sense for Steve to pass it to Bucky. But we've had our thoughts go, Raz. Give yours.
Well, for me, I guess it's kind of like, so Bucky's his own character, and I know Falcon's like his. So to me, Bucky alone is a standalone character that can hold his own. And giving the shield to Falcon really does emphasize how important Falcon is as a character now. And in all honesty, if they are going to move into the TV series between Falcon and Bucky, if you had him give it Falcon, it was like, if you had him give it Bucky, it was just like, oh well, Falcon's his psychic again. Now it kind of puts him on an equal playing field. It's like
I do agree with you. I think Bucky is his own thing and doesn't need it, and Falcon did need, because like I say, Falcon's always been Cap's side. I think if Cap dies, Falcon needs this. I do agree with you on that.
And I don't mind it. I honestly don't mind it. Like, Bucky's a really cool character, and I think just giving him, oh well, he's the new Captain America, it's kind of like you've kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like you now just disregarding his whole background. And like Bucky's background is like, he has a very, very dark background, like as a character.
But Caps isn't the brightest either. Like,
yeah, but Bucky was literally
is
on the
obviously
other
darker.
team. Like he was
Bucky's-
literally on the other team, and
yeah, but not by choice. Like,
no, obviously, but now you're giving but Falcon's always been a good guy. He's always been a good guy from the very start.
like I say, listen, I'm with you. It's more a question of who needs it and who's earned it. But to me, not only did the actor actually audition for Captain America the very first time he went forward, so it kind of makes sense. And like so you know, he auditioned for Captain America, he got Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, I also just think he's earned it. I think it makes more logical sense moving forward. Like, if you, I guess it depends. If you want to change it up, yeah, I guess Falcon's the smart choice. But I think if you're Steve Rogers, Bucky is infinitely makes more sense.
Yeah,
Infinitely.
yeah. I think
Infinitely.
Yeah, I think as like it goes, you would honestly pick your literal like best friend
From
childhood. From childhood to hold your place over like someone
and
who
he also has the actual. If you also have to choose who's going to do better with it, it's also Bucky. Like, from Cap's perspective, you gotta think he's passing. This isn't from a movie perspective. Now, think from Cap's perspective, he's passing that mantle on to the next best man for it. Like, you gotta think, like, you know, Bucky is the next best man for it. He's so similar to Cap in every way, like physically anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do fully see where you're coming from. I do think Falcon needs it, and from like a movie perspective, you want to keep Falcon in the lineup. Yeah, I definitely think Falcon.
I think I was about to say I think it just pushes Falcon, like it just pushes him to be probably a bit more. A lot of people are going to be a lot more on Falcon's side now than what they would have been going into maybe the next film. Because in all honesty, I think everyone looked at Falcon and it was just like, oh, it's Falcon. You know what I mean? And then it was like you looked at the Winter Soldier and it was like, that's the Winter Soldier. You know what I mean? He's decent. But Falcon was just like, oh, it's his psychic sort of thing. So I do kind of think it's a good idea putting the shield on him, and I honestly think he's going to hopefully do a really good job. I really do.
I think we just have to wait and see. Like, he could, like I say, I'm fully with you, to be honest. I'm fully with you. I think he needed it as a character, and from a movie telling perspective, since it is a movie, it's probably the better choice. You get better PR from it, and on top of that, Anthony Mackie's quite like a fan, like not character, but like a fan favorite actor. You know what I mean? Like So yeah, I think no matter who you pick, like, you'll still get a good choice. But yeah, I think Bucky earned it. But yeah, I agree with you. Falcon needed it. All right, we're gonna move on to the final part then. Wait, you gave your thoughts on Cap going back in time, right? You said you liked it.
Yeah,
you got any more thoughts on that?
No, that's basically it. I liked it. I liked that for that to be the final end of Cap. It was good.
All right, we're gonna talk about Guardians 3 now, as the final wrap up, and we've got Gamora not disappearing. At least, if she had disappeared, they would have shown it and emphasized it. You know what I mean? Made it sadder. Quill sees her disappear, stuff like that. So we know that Gamora is still here, but she's not with the Guardians at the end of the funeral, and she's not with them on the ship either. Obviously, we have Thor. I'm gonna start with a deal on this because you did the Cap. Thoughts a deal.
What with the whole Thor being on the ship with them?
Thor being on the ship and Gamora not being anywhere. Go.
Okay, I thought the whole Thor scene with the whole leader who's in charge.
Hilarious. When
I was nearly crying.
It's you.
Okay, but what's it good talking about Gamora? Well, notice that what they was actually looking at when they was picking where to go on the map was Gamora's face, and they're searching for her. So that's definitely going to be the next Guardians Galaxy that are going to search for the past Gamora that's now in their present. But the reason why I wanted to really talk about it, and I got so kind of like a little bit hyped when I saw it, is it's currently, I don't know if it's currently going on, but the Infinity Wars. The Infinity Gauntlet that's going on in the comic at the moment, it's Gamora instead of Thanos. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like Gamora's got the Infinity Gauntlet and she's got her own plans. And then within that comic, they even thought like, oh shit, it's Thanos. As he went for the Gauntlet again, she comes in with the whole scene holding Thanos' head and being like, no, it's actually me.
That is
you know
cool.
what I mean? So I was like, I don't know. I don't feel like they will do it after such. Obviously, this was so big. Infinity Gauntlet. They won't do it, but obviously got my little
Well,
nerd rage
it's
going on.
it's
But I do feel like it's gonna be a Gamora is hella evil,
yeah.
and she's going to fuck shit up. You know what I mean? So hyped, definitely hyped.
Yeah, me and Lewis were talking like where do they take the MCU from here, and I'm 100 that I think they'd lead it on Guardians 3 now. I'm 100 that Guardians 3 is where the MCU is going to be the direction that MCU goes. Raz, thoughts on the Gamora and Thor?
Okay, so the Thor scene I thought was absolutely hilarious, and I think that's going to be the comedy side of the next Guardians is between Quill and Thor.
Yeah, I also think real quick as well that Hemsworth and Thor from Ragnarok, the perfect choices to move him to Guardians. He has nailed the comedy role so far.
Yeah,
he has absolutely nailed it. We all agree on that, yeah?
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, 100%.
Alright, Raz, continue.
Yeah, I hope to God though, I hope that this next Guardians they don't split them apart and one group goes for Gamora and the other group does something else. And honestly, if they do it where I will literally cry if they split him and Quill up, because they're putting so much chemistry between them, like, and emphasizing it. And like if they just split them up, it's going to be really disappointing. And honestly, I want Thor in the next one I want him to be like the comedy like esque of it, but I want him to intertwine with everyone, not just Quill, because I think Thor and Drax together could be fucking hilarious. Like they actually could be brilliant. Like, because Thor, he's so like dumb but smart at the same time. So where Drax is like, you know how he's like when he's completely still, no one can see him. You could imagine Thor being like, "You need to show me how to do that," and then him trying to like pull it off as well or something. Like, I honestly think it's going to be absolutely brilliant if they keep the cast of that together. I think it's going to be awesome. I don't know where they're going to go with it, and I think it's really cool because a lot of people are going to speculate where they're going to go, so the videos on that are going to be really interesting. Honestly, I can't wait for Guardians 3. And does this mean though that Thor's going to be the new face of Marvel?
No, definitely not. I think he's just going to join their roster. I think so. My final thoughts on Guardians now is, what threat are we going to see the Guardians go up against that Thor can't handle? That is, pardon. I said Galactus to you, but they have to bring Fantastic Four in. Fantastic Four, like you were saying, Adil. And I don't like any. Every time we've seen the Fantastic Four, I don't like them.
They always fail, don't they?
And that is, listen as well, boys. That is like we know we're getting Guardians in 2021. We know we're not getting any more movies apart from Spider-Man in 2019. I don't think they have the time to bring Fantastic Four in and introduce Galactus all before Guardians 3. And we need a story that Thor can live up to, because, like I say, every single time we've seen the Guardians, right? We've got Gamora, who's an assassin, who's pretty smart but uses big guns. Quill, who uses his blasters. Like no one there is like Hulk level powerful, Thor level powerful, Scarlet Witch level powerful. Every threat they've came against, don't get me wrong, going against the Celestial was whatever, but they made Quill a Celestial in that as well. And in the first one they went against Ronin, but again, it wasn't an actual fight. They had a fucking I mean, so what are we gonna see that, because there's such a massive power difference, right, between Thor and Star-Lord. What are you gonna see Thor take on that Star-Lord can also be a part of? You know what I mean? And also why he's gonna test Thor in the movie.
Yeah, so maybe they'll just bring like a sidekick, like an enemy in Thor to clash with. Like maybe the main villain isn't someone Thor's gonna whoop. It's over just there's a side character that Thor's gonna kind of fight. Maybe
we'll have to see what the future holds. I think wrapped it up now. Final thoughts on the movie, rating and sentences, and also pick your three parts of the movie.
A rating and what? Sorry, you broke up.
Okay. A final rating out of 10.
Yeah.
One final sentence to summarize it, and your favorite three parts of the movie. Okay. We're gonna start with Raz. No comedy though. No comedy. Favorite serious three parts.
serious 3 parts. Obviously, Cap with the hammer.
Yep.
Cap fighting Cap.
Yep.
And the Thanos start where they just decapitate him.
Okay, cool. And now give me your rating and your final sentence.
Rating probably a 9.4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll hit it with. And then my final sentence will be, that's America's ass.
Okay. Alright, Adil, rating, thoughts, and favorite 3.
Okay, favorite 3. Oof. Oh, you mean? Oh, I was still thinking about it when what's it called? Raz was speaking. But
I know you hit me on the spot straight up.
Favorite 3. Love the part with like the whole sequence with Spider-Man going from person to person, making little quips cool. And being like excited he's seeing all these people.
Yeah, that was very cool.
The fight between with what's it called? Thor with the axe and Captain America with the hammer, and like, I know you said no comedy, but like
when they swap it, he goes, you take the smaller one.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah.
Like, beautiful. Yeah. And
he was like, you take the smaller one.
Iron Man's click, like, honestly, they gave him any other quote, it wouldn't have been in my top 3.
It was the I am Iron Man,
because it is the I am Iron Man. 10-10. What a way to end it.
I'm with you on that. And your final quote, boys.
Oh, my rating would give you a nice, like Raz 9.9 out of 10, 9.5, whatever. Can't give it a 10 out of 10 because nothing's exactly perfect.
Well,
and yeah, like I'm just giving. If I'm really gonna bash it, it would be lower just because of the Hulk. But I'm taking the film as how they wanted to portray it.
Yeah.
And final quote: "Make Hulk great again." Real simple, boys. Real simple.
I know what Luke's final quote's gonna be.
No, that's not even gonna. Listen. My favorite 3 was obviously I am Iron Man. That was number 1. Number 2 has got to be Hawkeye and Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yeah.
And my 3rd final moment has to be tricky because if no comedy, it's got it. I don't want to say Mjolnir. It would be Mjolnir. It would be, but because Raz has already done it, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do when Scarlet Witch says "you will," and then Fox Thanos' shit up.
Yeah. Cool.
And my favorite, and the quote I'm going to pick would be, "Why did you even put the children of Thanos in there if you're not even going to show them?"
Well, what did you rate it?
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, only because they used the children of Thanos in Infinity War and fucked with them in Infinity War. And then when I saw them come back in this, I was like, well, that's why they did it then, isn't it? And they didn't do anything with them in this again. So, like I say, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. I don't give a crap about Hulk.
Screw you, man.
It would be it would be a 10 out of 10 for me if they used the children of Thanos. If I saw a Strange vs. Ebony Maw full fight, a Black Dwarf versus Hulk full fight, a Corvus Glaive versus Cap fight, and a Proxima versus... So this one, I would actually really like to see, the bald-headed woman from Black Panther.
Yeah.
I would really want to see her fight Proxima. I don't think she should be able to win, and I think we should get people involved for that. That would be like another female scene, but I'd love to see. I guess we already saw it in Infinity War though, so. But yeah, just use the children of Thanos better. Like, why'd you even put them in the movie if you're not going to use them? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm with you.
But yeah, 100, 9 out of 10 for me. I guess it's 9 out of 10's the rating. Adil's. Any final thoughts before we end it on what could have made it a 10 out of 10, or do you just think it's not possible for your rating for things to be 10 out of 10? Yeah.
All I needed was just Hulk to have a snap for, like, obviously we had this whole film, like, he's sitting there saying, it's the brains and the brawn. I just wanted to see Hulk. Literally, just wanted to see Hulk. I wanted it to be like, after you guys said him fight, what is it? It's not Ebony Maw. It's Black Dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, for him to have a rematch, I would have loved it. I instantly thought of a scene just to him.
But an actual
he's
Hulk fight instead of
Yeah,
him in
yeah,
the
like
Hulk
he
suit.
looks like
Yeah.
he's fighting people. It's like it's Bruce fighting people, but then
Yeah.
as soon as he sees Black Dwarf, something snaps,
Yeah.
and then Hulk comes out and
Yeah.
rips him apart.
Man,
That
I'm
film
with
would
you.
have
That'd be
been
amazing.
10 fucking 10. I would have been like, yep, got my Hulk moments. He's done his click, and I've got my Hulk. Best film I've ever
100.
seen.
That's an amazing. They're doing amazing. Raz.
Probably made it better, to be fair. I honestly can't.
You think it's just stuck on a 9 out of 10 for you?
A 9.4, yeah. I don't know what I wanted, but there was something missing that I wanted in it.
Okay.
Like, but I don't exactly know what I wanted.
For me, an extra half an hour where we saw that battle play out more.
Yeah, that would have been good.
It's a 10 out of 10 for me. And that's what I mean. That's where we get our Hulk scene. That's where we get more characters get their scenes. Like I say, Black Panther just had his run with it going. Same with Hawkeye. Like, yeah, to me, 10 out of 10 would have been if we had an extra half an hour for that battle.
Yeah. Probably, an extra half an hour, or like 40 minutes, and then just have a few characters. Mingle with each other, because you had that mingle with Thor and Thingy, but then have some new characters do stuff like, it would have been fucking sick.
Well, they'll probably be saving that for newer films, so that's not too much for me. I just wanted to see the final. I just want to see the final fight, but carry on.
Like, imagine if you had like a scene where you had like for example, like Black Panther was like to Hulk punch me, and Hulk fully leathered him, and he kind of like bounced into a group then. Because imagine the power that would have exploded from that.
I would have fucking killed him. What do you mean?
What? No, because his suit just absorbs the power, don't it? So, and then as soon as he pulses, it just sets like a fucking pulse off. So imagine if Hulk hit him that hard that he just flew into people, and then it just went up.
Absorbs the power, but I think that it would still hit him though. Like it's still gotta hurt him. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't.
Because he was getting shot in the face and everything while he was running. He was just taking it.
But you gotta think. You gotta think a shot. If I shoot something that's bulletproof, it's gonna ping off. You're not gonna feel it. Like if it's actually bulletproof like that. But if I hit you when you're wearing armor, but if I hit you hard enough, even if the suit absorbs the actual initial, but the force of it, you should still feel at least the suit. My fist hit the suit into you. You know what I mean? At the very least.
Yeah.
At the very least, they should do something like that. But I'm not too sure. I don't know fully how it works. But
I would have liked little combos like that though, where you got to see everyone else's attempt
like
their
working
combos
together and stuff. Yeah.
Like I said, you got the
half an hour.
an extra half an hour, 40 minutes of that fight where you got to see people do their moves and stuff.
40 minutes would have been a bit too long, I think, because you get battle fatigue then, don't you? Like 40 minutes of watching a battle.
Yeah, well, we've got Game of Thrones battle, which is supposed to be 40 minutes, so I guess we'll find out if we get fatigued from that.
Well, they actually specifically said as well that they tried to make it so that way, like, you won't get battle fatigue in it. But we'll see how well they did it. But I think this is a great time to leave it. An extra half an hour is generally the consensus. Like, a deal wants a Hulk scene. Me and you want more, like, just scenes in general. An extra half an hour probably would have fixed that. I can't think of many areas where they could chop the movie to replace it with that. I imagine there was already a decent amount, so yeah, an extra half an hour. I'm finished now though, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good too. Anything you want to say, Adil, before we wrap it up?
No, I think we really have covered everything.
I think it's been longer than the actual movie.
Literally, it almost has. 2 hours and 52 minutes so far. But
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching, and there will be an exclusive Game of Thrones episode that gets released on Tuesday. So thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next chapter. Peace. And bye, bitches.
Got done as well. Oh, sorry. Bye.
Bye bye.
Enjoy.